Good greetings, everybody. Commander Rusty Dog here. Yes. Well, welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah, so this news dropped about an hour ago, pretty much exactly an hour ago. And I know it's not the news that a lot of people were hoping for, but I can probably take a guess that most console users kind of had an inkling that this was going to be the result. It's kind of surprised me in a way. I didn't think that I don't know what the issues are. I don't know why. They haven't really explained it too much or at all as to why. But I don't know. I don't know why it's led to a complete cancellation of Odyssey going onto console, but nevertheless, this is what we have. Now, I don't own a console, so this doesn't personally affect me, but it doesn't mean that I can't talk about it. And if you guys are affected by this, please feel free to jump in and chat and talk and tell me what you think. If you're angry, if you're pissed off, say it. Just say what you need. I'm going to read out the post from Frontier anyway, and we'll take a look at a few comments from the forum. I'll go through those. We'll stick those on screen rather than my ship. This isn't really a gameplay thing, but I think when it was said, this it is with a heavy heart, blah blah blah. Yeah, I can believe that. I think it is. I mean, firstly, the announcement has come directly from David Braben. I mean, they didn't piss about with this. This hasn't come from a community person. Ooh, we just got there. That is the Hired Gun 24. Ominous name, very cool. Thank you for your sub. Awesome, thank you, Ominous. Yeah, this came from David Braben. It didn't come from a community person. Whatever they're called. I've forgotten. Yeah, it didn't come from those. This was directly from Braben. So this isn't going to help them, and they know. It's firstly it's going to scupper sales on the two console platforms. I'm pretty sure they didn't take this decision lightly, and I also think that I have to think that they must have tried everything they could to make this work. Whether the reason it's not worked is technical, in terms of performance, frame rates, or optimization, or whether the continuing developing storyline for Elite Dangerous in terms of future content is going to be even more intensive, I don't know. But in terms of frame rates, performance, I don't know. I don't think the previous gen consoles would be able to take it, but the new ones, the PS5s and the whatever the latest Xbox is called. So I don't know. So let's see who's with us in the stream. I'll just talk to you guys, and then we'll read out the announcement, and then excuse me, and then we'll get to your guys' views. Ugh. Sorry guys, I've got some weird taste here. I've been near a cat just now. I had two cats in my... Bear with me. Right, I don't know. I feel like I've just breathed in a load of fungus. Anyway. Yeah, so... let's have a look. Thomas Hughes is with us. Hey, Thomas. Commander Steve, Zodiac, Chase, Asher, Saul Myers, Rhino 1154, Adam Norbert, or I don't know, Sabo, probably got it wrong. I'll just say Adam. Adam's easier. Sven Sporkman, hi Sven. Happy Shrapnel is with us. Anthony Struss, Techno Viking, Loot, Mr. Blue Moon Halos, and Philip Hughes. Okay, so I'll run through your comments as well, guys. I won't miss them out. So let us go through the announcement. I'll just bring it up here. Obsidian Ant made a weird comment afterwards. But anyway, I'm not here for that. So let's have a look. So it says here, as you can see, I'll read it out anyway. Elite Dangerous is a game close to my heart. I believe that. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? It's no secret that Odyssey's launch was less than ideal. No, it wasn't. Including the need to split the PC console player base to focus on PC-only launch. Since Odyssey's release in May 2021, we have worked tirelessly. I'm sure you got tired. I'm pretty sure you got tired at some times. We have worked tirelessly to improve the Odyssey experience on PC. And whilst we have made great progress, there is still more to be done. Agreed. We have been supporting the pre-Odyssey and post-Odyssey code bases since. Yes. So far, fine. Over the last several months, we have been wrestling with the best way to move forward. And it is with a heavy heart that we have decided to cancel all console development. All console development. We need to be able to move forward with the story of the game. So this kind of tells me that this decision is also based on the future of the game as well, not just focusing on Odyssey right now. So I don't know if their issues are just technical or not. I don't know. And in order for us to do this, we need to focus on a single code base. Okay. Elite Dangerous will continue on console as it is now, together with critical updates, but we will focus on new content updates on PC on the post-Odyssey code base. We appreciate this news is not what our console community were hoping for. That's an understatement. Again, I don't own a console, so I don't know, but I'm just presuming that this is going to be pretty much of a big disappointment. This was not an easy decision to make. I believe that. Yeah, completely. I'm sure it wasn't. But it was made with the long-term future of Elite Dangerous in mind. So what they're trying to say is we can't stick it on the console for whatever reason, but we have to look at the bigger picture. And it seems that the bigger picture of Elite Dangerous is PC only. So that leaves the console owners with Elite Dangerous Horizons. That's it. But now there's another issue, because well, let's get into that later. Let's get into that later. I'll try not to forget. But there's a term here. Where is it now that they've put it? Where's this thing I wanted to look at? We need to move forward with the game. Yeah, to focus on a single code base. Single code base. That's the PC. Period. Single code base. So I'm not quite sure why Obsidian asked, does this mean it's not going to be developed on PS5 and Xbox? It's pretty clear that is exactly what they meant. I don't know why there was any ambiguity there. You know, they pretty much said it in a couple of places that this is console is done as far as Odyssey is concerned. So, but we'll look down further posts later. So let's have a look at you guys and see what you guys are saying. So Rhino says the phrase, the long-term future of Elite Dangerous does give me hope that it will now go forward as it should. Yes, I mean, this is kind of, if you can, I mean, if you're a console-only owner or a console and PC owner, but you have Elite Dangerous only on the console, and I'm going to come to that as well later, then, yes, I think the fact that they are looking at a long-term future. I mean, they set out, what was it, a 10-year roadmap initially, and we are now 6.5 nearly years in, and they're still looking for a long-term future. So from the PC owners or players' point of view, that's kind of a good thing for us. However, that's not really the focus of this announcement. We can't just be going, yeah, well, it's going to be great for PC. This is, because this is going to piss off a lot of console owners. But I don't know, how angry can you be with Frontier? It depends on what the issue is. Is it something that was out of their control? Is it something that was out of their ability to make feasible? Is it a talent issue? Is it a technical issue? Is it an issue with Sony and Microsoft? I don't know. I don't know what it is. It would be nice if they could tell us what that is, what the reasons were. But it looks like they haven't chosen to do so. So yeah, let's carry on with the chat then. Community manager, thank you, Rhino. Yes, community manager, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. Happy Shrapnel, hey mate, not surprising at all. FDev updates releases have been a consistent shambles for years, and you don't want to be pissing off Microsoft and Sony with badly managed updates. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how I've got a very basic, and I mean very basic, understanding of how, games get submitted to Microsoft, and it has to be within certain parameters, everything has to be right, certain conditions have to be met, and I don't know, maybe Frontier couldn't meet Microsoft and Sony's conditions with Odyssey, or they thought maybe if they pushed hard to meet those conditions, I'm only speculating, but maybe they thought if they pushed hard to meet those speculations to get the game out, how's that going to be on the next one? That is Jabba Duke. Hi, Jabba. I've just realised we haven't got any chat on this page. I don't know if I can sort that out. Yeah, we've got some chat there, I think, and alerts. Yeah, sorry if your alerts are not coming through, but thank you, Jabba Duke, for the sub. Yeah, there's no chat on this page. I'll see if I can bring some over, but it's gonna mean that we're losing a bit of page. Yeah, so I don't know. What else have we got? Where did I get to? Happy Shrapnel. So Anthony Struss. Hi, Anthony. Anthony says, I'm not surprised in the least. I think that goes for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are probably not surprised by it. I think a lot of people were expecting this. And I have to say, ever the optimist, I wasn't one of those people. I thought they'd do it. Yeah, I was quite shocked to read this, but there you go. I think FDev overextended themselves. Now, this is the thing, though. Games are coming out on consoles all the time, and, Frontier Developments are an established game maker. They don't just have Elite Dangerous in the fire. They've got the Jurassic World, they've got the officially licensed Formula One manager coming up. I'll tell you now, guys, the F1 license, that doesn't come cheap. I don't care, how much, I don't know, maybe there's different levels of purchase for that license. A Formula One license is big money. Trust me, it is big money. So I don't know whether that's got anything to do with it. I'm not saying it is, of course. I don't see why, but yeah, I hope they produce a really good game there, because they're gonna have to recoup some of that money back, because that ain't cheap. But they're an accomplished game developer, so when I look and I play Odyssey, and I go to the settlements, and I look at the planet tech, none of that to me seems like, oh, this is so out of the realm of consoles, you know. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal. So I don't know whether it's an issue with the game engine on the consoles. Again, I can only speculate. Maybe some of you guys have got better ideas, on a bit of knowledge, I should say. Techno Viking says, I wonder if they even tried on the new consoles. Yeah, I mean, I would think as a game developer, they would have a couple of Xboxes and PlayStations on site where they're testing the code. I'm pretty sure that would be the case. I'm pretty sure also that was the case when I was working. I did a little stint at Slightly Mad Studios, the people who did Project Cars 2. I was working with them for a while, and I was doing some game beta testing, and I'm pretty sure they had all that set up there where they could test on the nightly builds on the console and the PC every single day. Or at least, if not, then it would be all on PC and then ported afterwards. I don't know. But yeah. Hey, Loot. How you doing, matey? Right, so let's go through. We got some lot of chat here. So, Mr. Blue Moon Halo says, well, I'm pissed off about it. Well, it's understandable. You know, it is. But then, I don't know if there's any, I think, well, it's not going to be a solution, really. But for people who own consoles and PCs, both, assuming the PC can run Odyssey, I'm hoping there's an out here, which I'll get into later. I hope so. At least some kind of consolation for that. Hey, Commander Sauce for Beers, I think all console owners will be upset by the news. Yeah, some won't be surprised, but then there's going to be a small crowd, I think, who just play Horizons and not interested in Odyssey. So it's going to be no skin off their nose, and they'll just carry on playing Elite Dangerous. I know somebody commented on the forum, oh, now Frontier have lost half their player base. Yeah, well, no, not really. It doesn't work that way. It's not like half of it's, well, firstly, is the PC and the console player base 50-50? I don't know if it is. But even then, this news doesn't necessarily mean that all console players are just going to stop playing. It just means they won't get Odyssey. And that's going to affect Frontier's pocket. All the potential sales of Odyssey on both platforms. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they did whatever they could to try and get this out. I hope over the coming days, weeks maybe, Frontier will be a bit more transparent and maybe try and explain why or how. If they can't, because there may be reasons why they can't. You may have to sign NDAs to find that out. I don't know. But if they can, I hope they do. So yeah, Commander Sorcerer is rightly so. They just chose to take on more they could possibly manage. Hopefully, they will give a more fuller statement a little later. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I don't think they will. I think if they were going to do it, they would have done it now. But it depends how later you mean. It won't be coming tomorrow. But yeah, I think it depends on whether they can or not. And if they can, like I say, I hope they do. Commander Steve Zodiac says, I have 2 PC commanders, but I started playing ED on Xbox with some 1,200 hours plus fleet carrier, loads of engineered modules. Hope they do some transfer options. This is what I want to get to, the transfer options. Frontier's position on this at the moment is that they are not focusing on that right now. But this is something I think they're going to have to find a way to do. At least to appease some of the people who have ED on the console, but also have a PC. Which is weird for me, but okay. I maybe just think different. Yeah. Oh, did I pronounce it well, Adam? Oh, cool. Yeah. I've got a pretty good track record with pronouncing people's names. Like watch, Kevin M. Hi, Kevin. See, I better got that right. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? Timo. Timo Luco. Hi, Timo. Manic says signing off. Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest though, the console owners are no. It's not right for me to say they're no worse off. Of course they are, but nothing's changed. What they have today is what they're going to have tomorrow and the day after. But the downside is all they're going to have today is what they're going to have tomorrow. So it's double-edged, you know. They're not losing. They've had nothing taken away because they've not had it yet. But the fact that they're not going to be given it is not good. So, yeah, I can understand. And there are people that have got consoles and they don't have a PC. Yeah, I know it's a downer, you know. And there's plenty of games out there. This is by the way, this is no. This is not me making any excuses or anything. But there's plenty of games out there that are exclusive to console. Take a look at the latest one, Gran Turismo 7. That's not on PC. I'd like it to be. But if I want to play Gran Turismo, I have to buy a console. And I have to buy a PlayStation. It has to be a specific one. So now if you play Odyssey, you're going to have to get a PC if you want to play Odyssey. So I suppose you could look at it like that. You know, it is reality. It's just a shame that console owners were given Elite Dangerous Horizons, but then when we had this update, Odyssey update, that now it can't be given to them for some reason. Yeah. Commander Mr. Gimper. Hello, Mr. Gimper. Console Commander here on Series X. Is that what the Xbox is called? Gotcha. I'm gutted. Yeah, I understand that, man. I understand that. I really can't work out why they even spent time trying to get it working on previous gen. Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't know where the work was mainly pushed to, but yeah, previous gen was a bit of a waste of time. They should. Yeah, I think looking at the performance constraints on this, previous gen was pushing it, but it looks like that there's no next gen option either. Yeah, I think the current gen consoles must be powerful enough surely to run it. So maybe there's another underlying reason. This is the thing. You know, it's not like Frontier have come out and said, we're not going to bring it out on the PS4 and the Xbox, whatever the previous one was, but we're going to look at bringing it out on the latest gen consoles. They haven't even said that. They just blocked this. This is gone. So that kind of makes me think that maybe there's some other reason going on. I don't know. Ronnie Bollinger. Hi, Ronnie. Good morning to you. Yeah, and Commander Scholze. Less incentive to improve performance. Disappointing for VR players too. Less incentive to improve performance. Oh, you mean... Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe... no, I don't know, man. Because I know what you mean. I know what you're thinking. That, you know, if it's running okay on the PCs now, then why bother pushing? But I mean, Braben already said in this particular... that's not chat, is it, on there? I just realised. Yeah, Braben already said that, you know, there's more work to be done. Let me just see if I can get the chat working, guys. Bear with me a moment, please. Okay, but it's all transparent. You guys can handle that? Let me go back to the live stream. We don't need this screen, really. So, yeah. Now I've lost my place in the chat. Nice. I'm just going to go up, because I had to pop the chat out into another window, and now I've lost my place. Oh, here we go. Disappointing for VR players. Yeah, I mean, that's another issue, isn't it? Is Odyssey not having VR yet? I mean, like full VR, full proper 3D VR. And while I thought that was a disappointment, when I tried the VR version of Hitman 3, because that just came out on VR as part of the main game, it wasn't a separate thing. I put the goggles on, and it's kind of the same principle as Odyssey in that you're on foot, you're walking around, you're using the mouse to spin yourself around, whatever, you know, and you're walking with the keyboard. I was disoriented as hell. I couldn't do it. I tried to play Hitman in VR, and it was just so disorienting. I was turning my head to the right with the mouse, maybe I should have done it with my own head, I don't know. But it was weird walking in a straight line. Yeah, it was just bizarre, and I thought, if this is what, you know, this was just walking and then maybe leaping over a little gate, you know, jumping over a gate, and I thought, if that's making me feel disoriented and uncomfortable just walking, what the hell is a conflict zone in Odyssey going to feel like? Because it's fast paced, it's moving, it's I don't think I could deal with it. I don't think I could deal with it in VR. Yeah, but that's just me. I don't normally have any issues in VR. Like people get issues sim racing, I don't. But this, yeah, Hitman. The only walking game that I've not had issues with, two of them. One is Half-Life Alyx, which was kind of built really for VR, and then Pavlov, which is the shoot 'em up kind of simulator thing. They work fine walking around, but Hitman, no. So yeah, Loot says, I feel for the consolers. I was going to put a joke in there saying we'll have to console them, but that wouldn't be very good. But for me, this is awesome news, as I am in it for the lore and their promise to advance the storyline. The thing is, though, would them bringing bringing Odyssey out onto the consoles have affected that? Like, if PlayStation and Xbox and PC players were all playing Odyssey, would it affect the lore or the advancement of a storyline? I don't know. Tell me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't know how it would make a difference, but you know, if you can tell me why, then yeah, I'd be interested to know. Solar Warden, hey, just buy a PC. Yeah, not that easy. To buy a PC that runs Odyssey nicely, that's a fair chunk of money. You know, that's a chunk of change right there. That's, you know, yeah, it's not so easy, and it's a lot more expensive than a console. But yeah, I think if you're a gamer, I mean, if you're a serious gamer, you should have a PC anyway. That's just my personal view. If you're a casual gamer, you know, casual going on for maybe a little bit serious, you know, have your console. But serious gamers, PC's where it's at, you know, mods, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I couldn't just game on a console. I couldn't do it. There's so many games I wouldn't be able to enjoy on by just having a console. But it depends what you're into. I mean, you know, if you only want to play a certain couple of games, you know, Elite Dangerous perhaps, and I don't know, whatever else is on console. And there's a lot of games that are on console that, sorry, are on PC that aren't on console. And because they never came out on console, it just got accepted, you know, like I guess like Euro Truck Simulator or something like that. It's just the way it is. Euro Truck's PC only, right? So, but yeah, Flexible Not, hi Flexible, another one. I think this is good news, says Flexible. Well, yeah, I guess it depends what side of the fence you're on. It's crazy to try and maintain multiple code bases. No wonder the crazy bugs after every update. Yeah, and there was people, well, not complaining, but mentioning about some of the UI elements in Odyssey, that they were kind of console based. You know, like the little round discs that pop up where you can change your health packs and stuff like that. And you know, the one I go in to access the codex from on foot and the engineers and stuff like that. And we have Mr. Grownman, another great name, Mr. Grownman 455. Thank you for your subscription. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Yeah. I think Flexible, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because obviously for the console players, not good, right? Not good. Let's face it. You know, and we have to empathize with them. You know, I'm sure they were looking forward to having Odyssey and going out and exploring or getting on the settlements, and now they just get this news where, sorry, it's with a heavy heart, but you know, oh man, I know how I'd feel. I would be really disappointed because look, console players with Elite Dangerous, I think some of them have as much passion and even love for the game that the PC players do. You know, it's not like they think of it any less. So, yeah. And I'm sure some people will go out and get a PC to play it. You know, now that they know that it's the only option. But that's a hell of a commitment to make. You know, a purchase to make just for. Mind you, I bought consoles just to play Grand Theft Auto, but still, a PC. You're looking at least having a, you know, a 20 series Nvidia card or the equivalent AMD card and a decent setup to play it. And then you've got the hardware to go with it. You know, maybe you want a joystick or a HOTAS or I don't know. Yeah. And a monitor. And, well, mind you, you probably have one unless you play on your TV. I don't know. But it's not going to be cheap. But, yeah, from the PC side, if Frontier are concentrating on the one code base, it is better for the PC side. You know, but I'm not taking any, what's the word? Happiness out of this announcement because it's not a good one. It's not a good one. There's a big player base on consoles, I think. I don't know what the percentage is for the console player base versus PC. I suspect the PC player base is bigger than both consoles put together. I don't know if it is, but I would suggest that it is. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's still a lot of disappointed people. Tavarish, Dima, hey Tavarish, not angry but disappointed. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can be, you know. I mean, if you're angry, it's completely understandable. Yeah. And it's just taken, because just think how long the console players have had to wait for this news. It's been a long time. You know, I mean, how long's what are we looking at? 8 months, something like that, since Odyssey dropped on the PC. Not the alpha. I'm talking about the full version. And then we've had the console players having to wait 8 months to find out, is it coming, is it coming? Yeah. Ugh. And this is coming from someone like me who hasn't even got a console. But I get it. I get the disappointment. I get the anger. Yeah, I get it. And I'm sure Frontier get it as well. Flexible says, I'd be willing to bet ED will not port to consoles again in 3 to 5 years. I bet you the F1 Manager game is going to be on console. I don't know if it's down to the game engine or what, but I'll bet you that F1 game is going to be on console. I will, in fact, I don't know if it is, but I'll guarantee it's going to be. Because they're carrying the official Formula One license. And as I said previous, that is money. You know, there's probably a few people there that had to, in Frontier, that had to sell kidneys to get that. St. Alan, thank you for your sub. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that has to come on the console because they're going to need to rake in as much as they can from it. And I'm pretty sure that the Formula One management would have made a stipulation that it has to be on all 3 platforms. So, yeah, I'm going to say that, definitely. What about the other one, the Jurassic World Evolution 2? Was that on console? I actually don't know. I don't own a console, so I don't really delve into that side. Commander Scholze asks an interesting question. Will FDev's share price take another plunge? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's quite possible, isn't it? But if it does, they're going to have to hope that it goes back up again when they release the F1 Manager game. But that's not going to be until the summertime. Oh. Now, because I'm a huge F1 aficionado, yeah, I'll be getting that. I'll be reviewing that, and I'll be telling you what I think of it. So, Frontier, you better do a damn good job on this, because I'll nitpick it like you can't believe. Rhino says, I'm in a very active squad mix between console and PC, so we've been talking a lot. Yeah, so I'm assuming from the console side, you're going to be getting their reactions now, what they think, and I'm sure none of it's going to be good. Yeah, Adam says it's good they don't have to work on everything twice, but it's probably 3 times, isn't it? Three platforms. Kevin M says costs. Spreadsheets ran the figures. It wasn't cost effective for the percentage of console players. See, now, if that is the reason, I could understand Frontier not saying that publicly. Sorry, console players, but you're not cost effective. I would understand Frontier not wanting to say that publicly. That does not make them look good. But then, how does that tie in with we have been working tirelessly, to improve the Odyssey? Well, no, actually, yeah, that's what they said, isn't it? They've worked tirelessly to improve Odyssey. We've been wrestling with a... Oh, you might be right. Looking at this text now. Over the last several months, we have been wrestling with the best way to move forward. Yeah. And it is with a heavy heart we've cancelled console development. Yeah. That might be a thing. But unless we know for sure, I wouldn't stick on that. They don't have the manpower. Possibly, I mean, yeah. I remember what was that game that they had that came out after Elite Dangerous? Was it the first roller coaster? What is it called? The funfair thing, roller coaster. I don't know what it. You know the one I mean, right? That one. And people were saying, And I remember people in the forums were saying, oh, you know, Frontier's not concentrating on Elite Dangerous, blah, 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 because they've got this other game on the go, and da, da, da. And it was a little bit after that, I was at Frontier offices. I went to visit them, and it was completely untrue because all the Elite Dangerous staff were in one specific building, and they were all the Elite Dangerous crowd, the people, and that's what they focused on. The other game, Planet Coaster, that Planet Coaster was being done by a whole different bunch of people in a different building across the road. So it wasn't a case that they were slacking on Elite Dangerous to do Planet Coaster at all. Yeah. So Ronnie says it would be okay if they keep an individual team for Horizons to keep us updated on the console, but if they didn't, but if they don't, then that means the council will be left behind to suffer. Yeah, Odyssey not on console. That's right, Phil. Yeah. See, look, I mean, Techno Viking. I have 15 billion, 30 plus grade 5 ships and a fleet carrier. I'm gutted, but I knew this would happen. Okay, so you still have those though. I know, I understand where you're coming from. Don't think I don't. I don't. But you don't lose those assets. You just can't do anything more with them into Odyssey unless you get a PC. And will Frontier provide a way of transferring your Odyssey account? Will provide a way of transferring your console account of Elite Dangerous over to a PC that you may have. I really think they should find a way to do this, you know, because I don't know how you log in, but on the PC, you know, each account is done via a separate email address. You just put your email address in and your password, and then it knows who you are and it gets you in. I'm assuming it's a fairly similar system on the console, but I don't see any reason why they can't do it. I don't know the inner workings, if it involves moving stuff to different servers. I don't know. But I hope they can do something for people who may have a powerful enough PC. Right? So if you have a powerful enough PC and a console and you're playing Elite Dangerous console only, I'm hoping that Frontier can come up with a transference option to at least get your account ported over to PC. On a personal note, I would say, why didn't you just buy Elite Dangerous on the PC in the first place? It doesn't count for everybody. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's a newer PC than the console. You know, maybe, I don't know. There's many reasons why not. But for me, if I owned a good PC and a console, I think I would buy every game on the PC, especially ones that are moddable, except, of course, in those scenarios where there's a particular advantage for buying it on the console, or if the game is console exclusive. For example, Gran Turismo 7 is console exclusive. That I would have to buy on the console. But if there's a game that has a PC equivalent, I'm getting it on the PC every time. It's just easier on Steam and just doing it that way. I know there's probably a plethora of reasons why people buy on the console even though they have a PC. And I think even the PC, aren't the PC variants always slightly a little bit cheaper? But is there any advantage to buying it on console instead of a PC? I mean, apart from the fact that, okay, you may not have a PC powerful enough to run the game, but your console's quick enough to do it. That's a different thing. But I'm saying if you do have a PC that can run the game that you buy on the console, why wouldn't you buy it on the PC? But that's just my personal thing that I would do if I had both. I would only use the console for games that I can't play on a PC. You know. like Rockstar's stuff. Jabba Duke, a small team at Hello Games can do what Frontier can't. That's a fair point. Yeah, No Man's Sky is on console, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, No Man. And remember, when No Man's Sky came out, people were slating that thing. Mackenzie Murph, thank you for your sub. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Yes, people slated No Man's Sky when it came out, and quite rightly. It was hyped up and it flopped. But what they've done with it since has been amazing. So, yeah, I don't know how big their team is, but they're bringing out updates, big updates, all the time. By comparison, I have to say Hello Games are very impressive compared to Frontier in terms of, in terms of the game. But for me, in terms of picking a space game, Elite Dangerous for me is where it's at. Some reasons are so bloody obvious as to why. The whole Milky Way, the whole deal, all that, the science, all that stuff. I'm not going to be able to catch up to all of you guys' chat. Yes, critical updates will continue for Horizons. That is true. Yeah, any critical updates. It's just big content updates. The Odyssey will get. If they're not going into Horizons, then you won't be getting them either. There's nothing like Elite Dangerous on console. That is true. Yeah. I mean, No Man's Sky, is No Man's Sky PC exclusive? But yeah, in terms of space games, like proper good space games, or space sims, let's call it a sim, because I want to reserve the space games for things like, I don't know, Astroneer and Space Engineers and stuff like that. Let's put Elite down as sim, just in quotes. But yeah, the console doesn't have anything in that ballpark. So Elite is still quite in a unique place on the console. But yeah, hey Alison, they don't have the manpower to keep Elite going in a good direction. Yeah, that's probably true on 3 separate platforms. So I'm pretty sure they have the manpower to keep it going on the PC only. Well, let's see what they bring after this, but yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't help, does it, with the console? Odyssey's just a space Call of Duty. Well, it's a little bit more than that. I mean, yes, in a way. I don't know. Call of Duty for me is like just run and shoot, which you can do in Odyssey, but there's also missions where, it's not just that. There's other types of missions, and then of course, as you know, because I'm going out exploring, they've got the exploration side of things and the planet tech and all that kind of stuff. So, a little bit more than Call of Duty, I suppose. In a way, yes, it is. Rhino says, I can see the loss of around 15% of the player base. Really that much? That's a hell of it. That's a chunk. 15 is a chunk. Think it's going to be that much? You think 15% of the console? Well, actually, no. What are you saying? 15% of the console player base or the total player base? Because 15 is massive. Might not sound like a lot, but it is. Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose 15%. Alison says as well, I think it's a complete lack of experience with the devs. FDev keep hiring folks straight out of uni. Oh God, is that right? They don't have the tricks to pull performance out of it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the offices of Frontier. I wonder if this Odyssey on consoles decision would have gone any different had Sandro and Michael Brooks still been on the force. I don't know. I don't want to put any of the Frontier staff down. Yeah, I'm not going to do that in this video. There's, you know, we've all whinged about bugs here and performance there, and yeah, they know. But I don't know. Maybe in this dark cloud with the with the console announcement, that we'll maybe see some of that starting to go away, because now they can focus on PC only, and any of the FDev, no, any of the Frontier developers, Frontier Development Developers, get it right in a minute, FDDs, any of the FDDs that we're working on console stuff can now focus on PC, except for the console version of Elite Dangerous. But I guess they just develop on the wouldn't they just develop on the PC and then port the changes over to the consoles? I'm hoping it's not the other way around. So let's have a look. Mr. Chief says, I love how FDev is honest. It's better than just waiting another year. Well, yeah, honest in some ways. I mean, they've been honest by saying, you know, we can't do it. It's taken them 8 months to let people know, but they haven't been forthcoming in the reasons why, and I don't know what the reason is. Maybe, I'm sure they've got good reasons for not telling us. Maybe they don't. They're very good at keeping secrets at Frontier. You know, when it comes to what's coming in Elite Dangerous, what's coming next, you know, they don't tell you. They don't tell you where the progress is. I mean, look how the fleet carrier interiors news just popped up. Oh, by the way, we're releasing it on March, blah blah blah. You know, and of course it's been delayed. So maybe they'll get minimized now as well. So we won't have so many of those. Phil Hall says, I think they've thrown the console under the bus. Yeah, in metaphorically speaking, I guess so. Yeah. Martin Sampson, hey Martin, the people I feel sorry for are the console players. Yeah, of course, that can't afford a PC to play it on. Of course. You have to empathize with their side, you know. Imagine if it was the other way around, where, you know, it came out on the consoles, but then they said, well, we can't get it out on the PC. Imagine how we'd feel. I would go nuclear on that. Yeah, I would go nuclear if that was on my side. So I get it. I completely get all the anger. I just hope we don't get people in the forums, you know, going extreme troll, because that doesn't help anybody. Ignatius Rock. Hey, Ignatius. I stopped playing for a long time after Odyssey dropped, but have started playing Horizons again. What do you play on, Ignatius? Are you on PC or are you on console? Yeah, there's a lot of people. Remember when Odyssey came out, there was a lot of people, and I don't know if it was just PC based, but there was a lot of people who just said, oh, Odyssey doesn't interest me, it's not my thing, I'll stick with Horizons. So if there's any of those people in the console world, are you going to be disappointed now, or because it's quite different to choose, like in the PC arena, it's quite different to choose not to play Odyssey because it's not your thing, but the option is there for you to get it if you want it, than not wanting to play Odyssey but not having the option. That's worse, because it means that even if you changed your mind, you still can't do it. You know what I mean? It's always good to have the option, even if you don't or aren't going to use it. That makes sense? It does, right? It does. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, ooh. Saying, oh wow, hi, ooh. Yeah, put time into ship interiors. Oh, well, hey, that's another point of debate. Can they now put the time into ship interiors, or I don't know what their future plans are for thing elite ship interiors. Maybe they will have time for it now. Who knows? I don't know. It's a thought. I never gave that any thought, but yeah. Um, what about merging PC Horizons and Odyssey? Well, they kind of already are in a way. I mean, Odyssey serves more as a bolt-on add-on for Horizons, but you mean merging it into one product? Because and then sticking that on Steam, so when you buy Elite Dangerous Odyssey, you automatically getting Horizons with it anyway. The thing is, Odyssey's an add-on, so I don't know if they'll do that. I think eventually, possibly they will, as I think it will go that way. I think Odyssey will be merged with Horizons in the future. Because if you remember, a little while back, Frontier already did that. There was Elite Dangerous, and there was Elite Dangerous Horizons, and they merged it. So anybody who just had Elite Dangerous, they essentially got Horizons for free. So they have done that. So it could be that later on, Gizzy just subscribed. Thank you, Gizzy. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the sub. Oh, Michael. Oh, Lockovitz. Hi, Michael. Thank you for your subscription. Man, I need to do more of these videos. I'm getting some good stuff. Don't forget to like as well, guys. And yeah, and get partake in the discussion. I'm going to try and get to all the comments if I can. I wanted to get to some of the comments on the forum, but I'd rather deal with people live on my chat first because I think that's more priority. So that's what we're doing. But yeah, I think at some point, maybe in the next big update, you know, we've had Horizons, then we've had Odyssey, and let's say there's another one coming out called, I don't know, ED Galactic, let's call it. And then I think when that comes out, they'll probably merge Odyssey with Horizons, and that'll be the default package. Because otherwise you're going to have all these entries on the launcher, you know, and it just gets a little bit cluttery. So yeah, it might come. It's not going to happen anytime soon though, but it might come. Yeah. Is this what they've said, Ronnie? In their own words, they're not going to focus on anything other than PC, so they're not going to do any transfers. I think what they've said though is that they're not focusing on bringing Odyssey out on a console platform. I don't. Is it? I don't think it's the case that they've just said they just completely wash their hands of consoles, because they are going to be giving critical updates of Horizons to console players, so they're not washing their hands of it. So unless I see an official statement from Frontier saying we will not be undertaking account transfers from console to PC, unless I see that, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, unless they have made that statement in the forum, and I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if that's the case. Let me know. But yeah, I hope they really do try and do that for people that can manage it. And for those who don't have a PC, or a PC powerful enough to run Odyssey, oh boy. Yeah, they're kind of forcing them into an upgrade if they want Odyssey. So, is Odyssey going to be worth £1,000 to £1,500? Jesus. Yeah. Ramoyne. Hello, Ramoyne. Well, it seems I wasn't far off expecting this outcome. No, and I'm sure you weren't alone. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people were expecting this outcome. Yeah. Mr. Blue Moon Halo says, if they want me to keep playing, they will have to make it so I can transfer all my stuff to PC, not just credits. Yes, that's very important. Not just credits. Yes, that's pointless. Yeah. Transfer everything. Ships, all the engineered modules in all the ships, anything in the store, whatever assets you have in the game. Yes, everything. Arcs, the lot. Everything. That's what they need to do. It can't be just credits. That's pointless. You know. Yeah. I mean, they can't transfer your... How can I put it? The fact that you've paid for the game on a console, they're not going to be able to give you a free version on a PC. You'll have to buy it, I am assuming, and buy Odyssey, which is an inconvenience in itself, having to buy both products again, or both products. So the least they can do is transfer all of your credits. That will at least serve some people. But again, if it comes down to how much of the player base is console, is it worth it for them to spend the time to work on that? No. Techno Viking says, I only play for the PvP anyway. I would be happy with new ships myself. Well, I'm hoping that if there are any new ships coming, I'm sure we will get some, that they will also bring them on to Horizons as well. I think that's always been the case. There's no ships in Odyssey that isn't in Horizons, apart from the taxi, but we're not going to count that. That's an adder. So far, yeah, all the ships are in both games. They kind of have to be, I think. So yeah, if they bring out the infamous Panther Clipper, for example, I'm pretty sure both Horizons and Odyssey are going to get that. Yeah. Let's have a look. I can't run through all of the comments, guys, because I'm not going to catch up. Ramon says they should have been straight from the start. I think, yeah. I think maybe they've only just realized it, that they can't do it, but they've been trying up until recently. And they've obviously just sat round a table, and David Braben, I suspect, probably called all of his lead developers on round a table and said, tell me, what's the deal? Can we do it or can't we do it? I don't think this is something that they knew, months and months ago and didn't say anything. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. So yeah. But yeah, I kind of expected Odyssey, if it was going to be on console, that it would have been on the latest generation, and not the previous. That's what I would have expected, because hell, if I was struggling for frames on my PC, I haven't got a monster PC, but it's fairly decent. And if I was struggling for frames, I wouldn't have. It would have melted the old consoles, wouldn't it? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really say a lot for how much more optimization they think they can get out of this game either. Yeah, that's another one. Petro, Heemstra, hi Petro. Maybe they made a deal with Microsoft. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. Like, a deal what? To not bring it out on the hey Microsoft, we'd like to make a deal. Okay, what would that be? Well, we'd like to not bring it out on your platform. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, I know Microsoft have got their fingers. Oh, I see what you mean, Petra. I see where you're coming from, because I know, yeah, didn't Microsoft just buy a big gaming company recently? Was it Bethesda or something? Yeah. I don't know. I think, yeah, but we're talking about Microsoft buying Frontier Developments. That's not off the cards, is it? Yeah. Everybody needs to stop selling out to Microsoft. It's like when small businesses have got no choice but to sell out to bigger companies and then just get thrown to the wall. Don't stop selling out to Microsoft. Jeez. Yeah. People get blinded by the zeros. Yeah, I know Java. Odyssey was announced for PC and consoles. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fail. It's a fail from Frontier. Angry Citizen, hey man. Yep, well, exactly. Let's have a look. Oh my god, so much chat. So much chat, guys. I can't keep up. I can't keep up, and I'm not going quick enough. I'm going to need a separate stream just to go through all of this chat. Look how far behind I am. Oh my god. Let's have a look. I think I'm kind of where I was. Deo977. Hi Deo. I don't know how long you've been here, but that's where I am on the chat. I don't know about Frontier selling their IP to another company. That would be a shame. I mean, this has been Braben's baby since 1984. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sell my baby to somebody. Let's have a look. Hello, Breaker of Worlds. Is it because they couldn't port it to the last gen consoles? Well, I don't know. I don't think so, because if so, why cancel it on the latest gen ones as well? You know, they've cut ties with the console. Period. They haven't said, you know, we'll bring it out on the latest one, but not the last one. Tausati. Hey, that's another cool name. I'm getting all the cool names subscribing today. Thanks for the sub. I don't know who Ian Phil. I'll need to get Ian. Oh, Ian Bell. Okay, I know a different Ian Bell. Yeah, I don't know. Are they friends anymore? Bell and Braben? I don't know. Asteroids. Looks like I'm going to need a new space game. Can't play knowing we're being thrown in the ditch. Yeah. Yeah, some people, for some people, like Asteroids, it's kind of a matter of principle, isn't it, really? Man. The thing is, well, what's out there to properly compare with Elite Dangerous, especially on a console? You know, what's the options? I don't know. Angry, God help the community managers who draw the short straw for hosting the first live stream back. Yeah. We might not see a live stream for a while. Let the heat die away first. Brave of them if they do. If they do a live stream, like shortly, that's going to be brave. And I'll tell you what, I would respect them for it if they did. You know, it would show that they're not shirking, they're not hiding behind this, you know, this news. I'd give them props if they brought out a live stream now, you know, or next week or whatever. Yeah. What else we got here? You guys, there's so much chat. It's crazy. But I love it. Keep it coming. I can't believe we've got 109 people. I've not had that many for a while. The game law is close to dead, says Allison. They've been ignoring it for the past 5 years. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to get into now. So, yeah, let's have a look. I'm trying to look for console owners here. And a graphics card to run Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, I'm running a 2080 Super, and I can, you know, with the settlements and stuff, it's doable. You know, so you got to be looking at least that, and I'm running a 6th Gen i7, which is not the latest thing. So you're going to be looking at least a 20 series, 2080, 2070 maybe. 1080 Ti, my 1080 Ti ran this thing pretty okay. That's a powerful card still. But they're not bloody cheap, that's the problem, you know. Mr. Grown Man, I nearly said Mr. McGowan, I don't know why I nearly butchered your name. Mr. Grown Man says, I think they were saying it's 70% PC player base and 30% console. That sounds about right to me. Yeah, that sounds pretty much bang on the money. And is that 30% is divided between the two consoles as well, right? So, yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. RA, hello RA, says this sucks. I'm on a PS4 and I'm deeply bothered by the news. Yeah, I mean, look, if they're not even able to bring it out for PS5, PS4 is even more dead in the water, isn't it? You know, it's like the PS5 is just dead on the water, floating on the top, but the PS4 is sunk to the bottom. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, but don't they have to? Don't they have to have certain conditions when they're producing games for the console? Like, it has to be a certain frame rate, and it can't dip under that. It has to be able to perform at a specific frame rate this whole time. It doesn't do that on the PC. There's people with 30 series Nvidia cards, and I think sometimes it drops under this, the magical 60 frames per second. So yeah, and those Nvidia 30 series cards are some serious hardware. I don't know how they compare with PS5s and Xbox Series X, but yeah. Let's have a look. See what else we got, guys. So much chat. I'm sorry if I'm so far behind it, but you guys, wow, you guys are on a roll here. And I think my policy of trying to answer everybody is just not going to work this time. So if I do miss out your comment, I apologize in advance. Mr. Grownman says you technically don't have to buy a PC. Just sign up for Nvidia GeForce Now cloud service and use their free account to play Elite. Really? And Odyssey as well? I don't know anything about that, to be honest. But hey, it sounds like a. If that is really a sub, is that right? Can anyone confirm that? Is that a thing? Because that's probably, if I wanted Odyssey, that's probably the way I would go. Philip Banner says, "Hello, Rusty. Hi. How you doing, Philip? At last, some honesty from FDev. Yeah, but what a way to get it. Um, it's a shame that honesty has to come in the form of bad news, though. Yeah. I mean, again, they're being honest about it because it's the facts. They're not going to do it. But so being honest here wasn't a difficult thing to do. The only thing they're missing out is the reasons why it's being cancelled. They've not even hinted at why. We know it is being cancelled, but we don't know why, or has been cancelled. We just don't know why. Well, I've just got down to the point where it says thanks for subscribing, Mr. Grownman. That was a while ago. I'll try and rush through. Yeah, plenty of games that run on PC and console. At the same time, there's plenty of games on the PC that aren't on console, and plenty of games on console that aren't on PC. The problem here is that we've got half a game on a console now. You've got half of Elite Dangerous on the console. And it's not going to go any further. So I couldn't have. Yeah, I guess it depends on your position. If you have a console and you don't own a PC, you're not really in a position to do it any other way. But I know if I had the PC and the console and I was going to buy Elite Dangerous, there's no way I would have done it on the console. I would have, if I had the PC to run Elite Dangerous, there's no way I would have bought it on a console. Not a chance. Not a chance. It was like, a 100% cert I would have done it on PC. Yeah. But there you go. That I can apply that same thinking to many, many games. it's like, look, when I bought a console twice in my life, Xboxes, the 360 Elite ones, those. And I bought one for the sole purpose to play Grand Theft Auto 4. Once it came out on the PC, I sold the console with the game. Sold it. And I didn't buy them new. I bought the Xboxes secondhand. And then the same again. I bought a secondhand Xbox and I went down to the shop and I bought Grand Theft Auto 5 because Rockstar, you know, they don't like piracy on the PC, so they're going to wait a long time before they bring it out on the PC, and I wanted to play it. So I played it on the Xbox. The moment it came out on the PC, I sold the console and the thing. I didn't go out and buy 10, 15, 20 games on the console, you know, because I only wanted it for that game. It's the only time I ever played it. So as soon as it came out, yeah. I didn't do the same for Red Dead Redemption 2. I held off on that one. Thankfully, they did bring it out on the PC eventually, and I haven't got that many hours into it, really. So it just goes to show. It's like Gran Turismo 7. Now, I'm a sim racer. I like sim racing. I don't consider Gran Turismo 7 to be a purist or a hardcore simulator in any shape, way, or form, because it isn't. But it does simulate motor racing. But even though it looks nice, the eye candy's there, okay, it's bullshit with the microtransactions and all the other crap. Yes, it is crap. But there's no way I would have gone out and bought a console, a next-gen console, just to play it. It's a nice game, but, you know, and I know it's not going to come to PC at any point. So, yeah. Kareem, hi Kareem, thank you for your sub. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I hope is my ship going to run out of fuel here? Eduardo, Matthias, hi Eduardo, thank you for your subscription. Wow, Rusty's barking his tail off. Oh, in a couple of weeks, guys, I'm going to go down and see Rusty. I'll take some footage. Rusty and Merlin and all the crew. Right, I'm going to whip through some of your comments here. Icaranus, hi Icaranus, short of getting new devs. Am I seeing dust blow past the ship, says Kevin. Yes, you probably are. Yep, a little sandstorm. Madjock50 says, love Horizons on my Xbox Series X and kind of guessed it was never going to happen. Yeah, I think you're in a rather large crowd of people there that thought the same way. Turns out those people were right. I was wrong. I'm on record as saying that I thought it was going to happen, that they'd do it. You know, that they'd eventually say, yep, we're working on it in the background, and then certainly they're going to come out and say, right guys, we've got a date for you when it's going to come out. That's what I thought. How wrong was I? And I don't like the fact that I like the fact, which one is it? Yeah, I'm wrong, but I wish I was right. I wish I'd been right this time. Yeah, so it's not good. Mind you, I wish I was right all the time, but I'm not. Yeah. Have they abandoned VR? I mean, we've not had an official statement like this one on VR, have we? If we have, I missed it. Commander XLA says, I think we can take it that Horizons will no longer be developed for PC or console. No, I think the package as a whole, Horizons Odyssey, the whole thing will be developed on PC. Yeah. But I think any big updates from now on are going to be on the Odyssey side of things, really. And Horizons will probably just be getting critical updates or content updates that it will be, you know, let's say, like, as I mentioned earlier, they bring out a new ship. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's got to be that Horizons will get it as well. But when it comes to the big content or the next let's call it DLC. Yeah, let's the next one, whatever that's going to be. Uh, you know, I mean, what about look at Fleet Carrier Interiors coming next week? That's Horizons and Odyssey, both, right? So, yeah, I don't think they're going to stop PC. I think it's literally so they can focus on PC only. But yeah. What matter in the months to come will all be nuked by Putin, says Daryl. Yeah, well, if that's the case, he'll be getting nuked as well. Nobody wins. Yeah. So, let's have a look. Shugidin says, I bought a PC just for Odyssey, a cheap one. i3, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 1660 Super. That's an Nvidia then, graphics card. Sure, I only get high 20 to low 30 frame rates, but then I've never had better. So find this good enough for me. Wow, an i3, eh? What generation then? That must be a fairly good one. And a 1660 running it on? Wow, okay. Yeah. I don't know what settings you've had to turn down. Get it to run 20 to 30 or what settings you're running, but yeah, at least you can play it on a kind of a budget, so to speak. So, Grayskull is here. Hi, Grayskull. If they've been honest with themselves, I don't know. Do you guys not think that Frontier always believed that they maybe could do it, and they just tried everything that they could, and once they've realized we've tried but we can't, and then we get this announcement? Wouldn't you say that would be the case? You see, Evans says money talks, but it's actually the opposite way around. Because what money is talking here? The fact that they're not doing it on a console means that they're going to be losing money. They're not. Frontier aren't going to gain from this. Yeah, Frontier have got nothing to gain from this. They lose. They lose sales on both platforms. And of course, Microsoft and Sony will as well because they get a cut. Jungle Shade. Oh, yes. Be nice to find some of that if you're in the jungle. Jungle Shade, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Yeah. Techno Viking says I won't be buying anything more from them. Yeah. Yeah, Yamex will be all over this with a rant. Yeah, I'm not here to rant. I'm not going to rant. I'm just going to speak normally and civilly and calmly, like it is. Maybe Yamex has a console, so it would affect him more. I don't know. But if it was good news, Yamex would probably rant anyway. Martin Sampson, have I been watching the F1 test today? Yes, every single minute of it. Yes, and quick summary on that one. I expected Mercedes to show us a bit more pace, even though they've got a revolutionary, radical car design. Yeah, I'll be watching it tomorrow and the day after. Yeah. What's SIG? CIG? What's CIG? CIG, new Star Citizen would never work on console. Yeah, no chance. It's barely working on a PC, and it wouldn't work. Not technically or anything, but if they can't develop Star Citizen for PS5, because by the time that bloody game comes out, we'll be on the PlayStation 11. They won't be able to keep up. Yeah. I don't know what SIG is. It looks like it's got something to do with Star Citizen. SIG is Chris Roberts? How is SIG Chris Roberts? Chairman, including gangster. I don't know. Okay. Ronnie says, I'm a console owner. Oh, console owner, sorry. Yeah, you've got console there. I'm a console owner and I can't afford $1,250 price tag of a PC because I'm on Social Security disability. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is it. You know, everyone's got these different you know, unique cases to themselves, and you know, there's reasons why they just can't just punt for a PC. They're not cheap, you know, and it's then you've got to buy the game, and then you've got to buy the add-on. Oh my God, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, and it would maybe ease the blow if Odyssey was some amazing piece of code, you know, that was one of the best space experiences ever, but it's a botch of bugs and performance issues. I don't know. I'm looking at two chats. Oh, Cloud Imperium Gaming. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat on my OBS, which is up to date, and the one where I'm running through it on my browser, which I'm trying to get through. Oh my God, I must be so far behind. You guys are on the chat on my browser just telling me Planet Coaster. Save your money for 2025. We'll have to buy new PCs for Windows 11, so we're all going to suffer, says Mark Thomas. Yeah, they've got you by the short and curlies, eh? No Man's Sky is on console, but for God's sake, that feels cheap to have to switch to that. Yeah, I understand that. Gumbo Port. It's harder to hack console. Been hearing of folks getting their Steam accounts hacked a lot. Steam has been having problems with that lately. Yeah, well, there is that, I suppose. I've not had my Steam account hacked. I got my Discord account hacked a few days ago. I had so many people messaging me telling me, hey, your account's been hacked. Yes, I know, I'm working on it. I had to change my password. Linkster. Hi, Linkster. Welcome to the stream. Or, well, yeah, you've probably been here for like an hour already. I'm having to just pick out certain things. We got 141. Oh my God, I'm nearly close to my record. Can we hit 100 likes? That would be cool. Yeah. I don't know what my highest number of watching is. I think it's like 144 or something. Something along those lines. Let's have a look. Yeah, Mr. Grown Man says, once I started gaming on PC, I never looked back. So yeah, the advantage of PC gaming, of course, is if you've got games that have got mods, you know, you can access them on, like Flight Sim. That's an exception because you can get it in the marketplace. But there's a lot of mods that you can get on for Flight Sim on flightsim.to. They're all free mods, and you can't access those on the. You can't get those on the console. So you can only access stuff on the marketplace. Gislason says, I am Commander Snakier 5114, PS4 Commander from Venezuela. 6 months playing elite rank. 6 months playing elite rank on trade, 3 billion credits, 1 fleet carrier, 21 ships, and they send all my achievements to the trash. Not technically true. I mean, that's not true. Your achievements are still going to be there. You're not losing anything. You just won't be able to buy an add-on for the game you've done that on. Yeah, I mean, I get that you're upset and stuff, but that's not really true. You've still got all those. You don't lose any of that. None of what you've done's been for nothing, but yeah, you just won't be able to put them into an Odyssey environment, which is a big shame. But yeah, I get your pain. I get it. What else we got? Who else? Oh, that's a bit savage, Michael. Yeah, Michael Lokovitz says, why can't they afford to lose 15% of console players? They already bought the game, and they're already buying a lot of ARCs. That's savage. Yeah. Well, yeah, but they're going to lose. I mean, there'll be people. Yeah, you're right. In terms of people just rage quitting, that yeah, Frontier are not going to lose too much on that. The only thing they would lose is potential future ARCs purchases. I think Frontier have clearly accepted the loss of the Odyssey sales. Otherwise, they wouldn't have written this thing. Yeah, they've kind of surrendered it. I'm pretty sure this isn't a message Frontier wanted to push out at all. You know, I think they really wanted to try and do it. So for some reason they can't, and David Braben himself was the one to tell us all. So I can, yeah. You don't get that often. Normally it's a community manager telling you. So I think for David Braben to do it, I've got no reason to suspect that there's anything, less than sincere about it. Chili Coles says, I want my console version to be transferred to a PC version, no cost. Yeah, of course, you'd have to have the PC, you'd have to buy Elite Dangerous on it, and you'd have to buy Odyssey on it. But for the transfer of your assets, yeah, of course, there's no way they should, if they can do it or will do it, there's no way they should charge you a penny for that. No way. That would be a really sharp practice, and yeah, I don't think they would, but you'd still have to buy the game, unfortunately. I don't think Frontier are going to foot the bill for the game, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they can. I don't think that they technically could do that. Let's have a look. I haven't seen any bots in here yet. Where's all the sex bots gone? Commander XLA says Horizon is not being developed. Odyssey is now the core game. Yeah. Of course, any bugs that get fixed that will affect Horizons and Odyssey against, Horizons will get those little critical updates. But yeah, Odyssey is now the core game. And this is it. They have to concentrate on Odyssey being the core game. And they can't do that if they're having to find ways how to put Odyssey onto the consoles and then try and juggle all three, platforms. Like people have said, maybe they don't have the manpower for it. Mark, Rusty, has anyone thought about Windows 11 PC? No, I haven't. It's 3 years off. I don't know. Why 2025? Is that just because Windows 10 support ends there? Yeah, that wouldn't bother me. I ran Windows XP for years after they stopped supporting it. And there's offices that still run Windows XP. Because the applications they work with only work on it. Tavarish says, looks like I'll have to help get my brother a PC. Or help my brother get a PC. Yeah. Steve Zodiac says, I would be very nervous putting in hours of play in case Dev decide to pull the plug altogether. That's always on the horizon. No pun intended. That's always on the horizon, though. That, the server could get pulled. But Amazon have the servers, right? And I'm sure if Frontier were going to go belly up, they would probably at least try and put the servers into another company's hands so they can take it over. So, yeah. I'm not worrying on that yet. It's too far in the distance. We'll probably all get wiped out by another virus first. Now then, what else we got? Lapia says Odyssey is not an add-on. I beg to differ. PC Horizons is in the same boat as consoles. Won't be surprised if the following updates will show a massive rewriting of the code. Yeah, Odyssey is an add-on. It's you can play Horizons without it. And if you want Odyssey, you buy it and it gets added on. It's a separate game. Obviously, you get 2 entries. But you do buy it as a separate entity, a separate product. And it kind of plugs itself into Horizons. So in that kind of term, it is. I would class it as an add-on. Dave Topper T says, being honest, there is nothing about Odyssey that appeals to me. They built it like COD in space, complete with dialogue. Well, at least nobody says stay frosty, do they? Because that was in every single combat game for years. Stay frosty. And I thought, don't you dare put that in Odyssey. Unless, of course, things start getting really cold. Ronnie says, have a good day. Thank you, Ronnie. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Let's have a look. Alison says, sadly to me, what Odyssey offers right now isn't worth free, let alone the $800 PC upgrade I'd need to run it. Yeah, I don't know how much I would be prepared to pay to play Odyssey, but let me just say this. I got Odyssey free on my Rusty Dog account because I'm a alpha, backup, premium, beta thing, whatever you call it. So I got it for free. But I also have 3 other Elite Dangerous accounts, and I have not purchased Odyssey for any of those other accounts. Mainly because I haven't been using them. I probably would plan to buy Odyssey for another one of those accounts. And then for the other 2, because I really don't use them, I will probably wait until they do merge Odyssey and Horizons as one product. Yeah. And they have more chance of doing that now because if it's not going to be on console, yeah, once they start pushing out the next big update, they may choose to do that. I don't know. Now, I don't know, Java. You said from now on we must assume that support for console on any of their games can be cancelled at any time. I don't think so. I think each game is separate. You know, like, for example, like I made an example of the Formula One manager game. That's got to be on all 3 platforms, and that's a big money license. So, yeah, I can't see that being cancelled on anything. What other games do they have on console? So they've got Elite Dangerous on console. The Formula One game for sure has to be. It has to be. It's officially licensed, so that would have been a condition. I'm assuming. Educated guess, let's call it. But what else have they got on console under their name? Does the Jurassic World, is that on console? Is Planet Coaster on console? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Dave Topper says I've got roughly 3,000 hours put into Elite Dangerous on my Xbox or One X. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't lose those, obviously, as you know, but would you have bought? I mean, how many people would have bought Odyssey had it come out anyway? Chaos Engine, another cool name. Chaos Engine 01. Thank you for your sub. Thank you very much. Rusty is so happy with both ED and F1. I haven't even seen the F1 yet. They might butcher it. I hope they don't. I'm very much an F1 aficionado. I've been following it since the 70s. And yeah, if they butcher it, I'll be on it. I'll be on the case, guys. Rusty will be on the case if they butcher it in any way. Yeah. So, Commander XLA, the main problem is moving multiple Commander on console to PC. Yeah. I know, can you imagine doing it on a case-by-case basis, like one at a time? That's probably how they'd have to do it, because I don't know how you could do it like on a batch. Maybe they could, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the ones trying to set that up. Yeah. Saul Myers says the programmers want to get creative without worrying about console limitations. Well, PS5 versus a PC, I don't know what the limitations on the PS5 would be. It's pretty... I don't know, what is the... Like, what... If you were to build a PC with the equivalent power of a PS5, what would the hardware be? I reckon it would be something pretty beefy, right? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm overplaying the consoles. So, yeah, four English... Was that 4 English likes or something? Asked me about the F1. Yes, I did watch the Formula 1 completely. Update 11, Cyber Guy is coming for next week. Simondo is with us. Hi, Simondo. Yeah, sorry guys, my chat just jumped and now I don't know where it was. So yeah. Maybe I should just jump to the bottom of the chat now and... yeah, just pick it up from there. Less than 20% of the players are on console. That's why Frontier ditched us. It's a lot of... yeah, they're probably working out. A few people have suggested that, James, and it could very well be. It could just be down to the numbers. But 20% is 1/5. That's a good chunk, though. I wouldn't want to lose 1/5 of my customers. Well, it's not even that, is it, really? Because those 20% have already bought Horizons. It's just a question of how much do we lose if 20% of our players don't buy Odyssey. And not all 20% of those players would buy Odyssey. So now you're down to maybe, let's say half of them would buy Odyssey. Now you're down to 10%. So maybe they just decided that whatever work is involved isn't going to be worth it. The thing for me is I can't think, what's the hang up? What is the hang up? Why is it, why is it a hang up? What's stopped it? I'm very curious to know. Cosmic Drifter, hello Cosmic. The reputation loss alone FDev would face should mean they help any console players into Odyssey at no fee. Oh yeah, they can't charge a fee for that, especially after this announcement. And I don't think they would have anyway. They're all right with that kind of stuff, to be fair. The True Batman. Hey, the True Batman. Why do they expect console players will just switch to PC? I don't think they're expecting that, to be honest. I don't think they're expecting that at all. Maybe they think some will, some won't. But I don't for one moment think that Frontier are thinking, nah, don't worry, they'll all switch to the PC. Yeah, no, I don't think they expect that. No. I'm not Frontier and I don't even expect it. You know. It depends how into the game you are. But even if you're seriously into Elite Dangerous, you know, it's not... don't want to talk it down too much, but it's a... you know, there's only so much you can do in the game, in Horizons. So how much... yeah, it's not like buying it, you know, spending £1,000 or $1,000 on a PC and then buying the game is going to open up such a massive new thing for you. It's not really that massive. It's settlements and better planet tech. you know, so I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think I would buy a. If I was a console owner, would I buy a PC to play Odyssey on? Having not experienced Odyssey at all, just watched people play it. I don't know. Maybe not. If I had the same amount of hours, and I'll tell you what though, if I had a YouTube channel that was Elite Dangerous kind of based, I would sort of have to for the channel, and then just, yeah. But man, it's such a shame, all of this. Yeah, Ratstar, come and watch me play it. That's really bad though, because it's such a shame that it's like, it's horrible though. It's horrible that, watching me play Odyssey and then you're on a console and you're looking at me playing something you can't have. And that's just such a shame. Unless, of course, you get a PC. I mean, obviously. But it's such a shame to... But which is worse? The hope that maybe it'll come out on a console but not knowing? Or just being told, hey, it's not. I think the hope is the worst. I think hoping and not knowing is worse. At least now that you know it's not coming on the consoles, you can plan your next move. Am I going to get it on a PC? Am I going to, And even if you have a PC that can run it, and you say, right, I want to play Odyssey, and you buy Elite, and you buy Odyssey, your account is still stuck on the flipping console. It's a shame they can't just, you just use your same email address or something on the PC and boom, there's your account there. My stream is the third result for Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Is that right? Wow. Picked a good time then. I was just going to do this as a video. Just going to put a video out and just say, hey, this is the news. We can see it on the forum, on the browser, on the forum. And that would have been it. But I at the last minute, I thought, no, I'm going to stream it. And I wanted to stream it because I wanted to interact with people who are directly affected by this and get their views live on the stream, because that's just a better way to do it. James Vito says, I would have purchased Odyssey if it had come out on the consoles, only for the exploration aspect of seeing something new and taking new photographs. Yeah, that's a good reason for Odyssey. I think it's the exploration aspect of it is good. I've been loving the journey that we're on. I'm pretty sure my Anaconda is running out of fuel as we're talking. I'm gonna have to go up and refuel if it's, yeah, because the ship's powered on, so it is drinking fuel as we talk. Yeah, Breaker of Worlds says, I love Odyssey and I saved for months to buy a gaming PC to play it because I find Elite to be an amazing game that gives me everything I want. If you love Elite, you can do it too. Yeah, saving up is another option, of course, or buying a PC and getting it on, monthly payments. But it's still a massive, like if you're buying it just, obviously once you have the PC and you're playing Odyssey, you can play other stuff, right? You can go and buy other games that will benefit on a PC more than a console because they've got add-on mods and stuff like that. And so it's, it's a PC. It's not just a brick that's going to play a game. It does so much more. So, and it's weird for me to think that people, like, there's houses and households that just don't have PCs in them. It's like, I don't know. I just seem to get this impression that these days it's like having a sink in the kitchen, having a PC. But then again, a lot of people have laptops instead of a full-blown tower, so there's that. Oh, here's another point from Mr. Techno Viking. If you transfer your creds, you lose your Xbox progress. Can you live with that though? I mean, when you say transfer your creds, are you talking about your credits and your game assets? So that's the thing on the Xbox then. If Frontier said, hey, we can do a transfer feature where we can transfer all of your assets, all of your credits, everything onto a PC account. Is there anything left behind on the Xbox or the PS5, like what you mentioned, progress or something, or that you would still leave behind? And if so, are you okay with it? I think I'd be okay with it. I think I could live with that. I could Xbox progress, unlocked achievements, stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I don't care. Plux says, Xbox player, I'm okay with it. Okay. Horizons does the job. If I wanted to do Odyssey, I'll buy Starfield. I've seen a couple of mentions of Starfield in the chat. I'll have to have a look at that. The thing is, though, Odyssey is part of Elite Dangerous Horizons, accessing the whole Milky Way and everything. Starfield doesn't plug into Horizons, so it's a little bit different, but I'll have a look at this Starfield thing and see what it is. Because, like I said, a few people have mentioned that already. Yeah. Is this a console thing, or is it the Starfield PC as well? They should bring it on a PC. Yeah. What else? The Tritium Depot. Hi, Tritium Depot says, it's a no for Odyssey, but I keep playing it because I still love the game. Yeah. I know, it's just that, it's that game, isn't it? It just, how many bugs I've gone through. If all the bugs and all the crap and the performance, if I'd had gone through that on a lot of other games, I would have just dropped them by now and said, no, I can't be bothered with this rubbish. And I would have forgotten it, but Elite just keeps pulling me back in. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because a lot of Elite players are just quite... A lot of people who whinge and moan and complain are also passionate about the game, and they're whinging and they're moaning and they're complaining because they want the game to be the best that it can be. I'm one of those people. That's the only reason I whinge and moan, apart from the fact that sometimes it frustrates me. I want the game to be right. I don't want the bugs. I don't want the performance hits. I want it to run smooth, and I want to enjoy the game. So it's frustrating when you can't. And can you imagine if those complaints from people were just tripled by having it on console as well? Oh, Starfield is on the Steam wish list. Okay. So yeah, so it's I've lost my train of thought now. Sorry. Wait a minute. Somebody just put a comment in there. It better not be what I thought it was, because I'm just going to hand you your ass. Yes, High Kicker 11. Formula 1. Lewis Hamilton has been blackmailing the F1 a lot on the last break. Get the hell out of here. What are you even talking about? Silence is blackmail now, is it? The man is entitled to not post on social media for a couple of months, just as you are. If you want to decide to, no, I'm not going to post social media, I'm going to have a couple of months off it. I'm peed off with it. I'm peed off with things in my life right now. I want to just get away from everything. You're going to put that down to blackmailing? I see where you're coming from. But that means Lewis must yield a lot of power in Formula One. That his silence on, yeah, his silence basically, because he was with his family and stuff, has caused people to quake in their boots. Well, maybe that's Formula One's fault, isn't it? After screwing him out of a fucking title. Next! Don't get me on F1 because we're gonna need a different stream for that one. And I have got a lot of coiled up argument inside me. So anybody who doesn't think Lewis was robbed, don't say anything because it's not gonna go well for you. Yes, Ratstar, very nice comment. Yeah, we in the PC community will help you if you start from scratch. We will give you wouldn't that be something though? Like if people went out and bought Odyssey and had to buy Elite Dangerous again and start from scratch, and Frontier couldn't. Frontier, Zoltan, don't you start. I know you're taking the pee. He didn't get robbed. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The race director broke 2 sporting regulations to manipulate the race so that Max Verstappen could win. That is factual, and he was listening to Red Bull at the same time to do it. So please, don't even go there. Don't even go there, man. Right, anyway, I know you guys are going to get on me now for this one, but this is an Elite Dangerous stream. If you want to do it, you want to do a Formula One stream, we'll do it. But I will not be a very sociable person when it comes to that. But yeah, he got robbed all right. The best man won in the end. No, he didn't. He got robbed. Evans, please guys, look, let's keep F1 out of this because it's not an argument you can win. You really don't have the evidence on your side. Sorry. Anyway. Where are we? I've got lost in the chat now. Yeah, that we would give you support. That would be awesome, Ratstar. You know, for people like that who've had to start from scratch on their accounts and Frontier can't transfer the account over, that a lot of the PC community gets together and helps them with, like, I don't know, materials and data and stuff like that to help them build up, and credits, sharing missions to help them build up their account again. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be a real proper community. That would be a real proper community thing to do. That would be awesome. And yes, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that did come out of the Elite Dangerous community, because they can be good like that. Let's see how it plays out now. Let's see how it plays out. See if Frontier have got any more comments. We'll take a look at the Elite Dangerous forum in a little while and go through that. By the way, if you just getting back to the F1 thing, if any of you guys are Max Verstappen Red Bull fans, okay, just to put it out there that we can't always agree on everything. We can't all support the same driver. I have a potent dislike for Christian Horner. I don't like him. I don't particularly like Marco either. And I don't find Max Verstappen is a great driver, but he can be aggressive to the point where he is unsporting. He is a good driver, but it's just a shame he has that flaw where he's unsporting. But don't unsubscribe from me just because we just because we don't have the same thing, you know. Don't unsubscribe from me because of that. It's cool, right? We're talking Elite Dangerous here. So yes, I'm very strongly opinionated with Formula One, and In case anyone's wondering, yes, if Lewis had kept Max behind him and still won the World Championship, if Lewis had won his 8th world title, despite what happened, Michael Massey, the race director, would still be just as wrong as he was, and he should still be just as brought to account for it. Regardless of who won the race, doesn't matter. Massey messed it up. That's the last I'm going to say on that one. Just in case there's anybody else. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, he did. He screwed it. Screwed the pooch, I think they say, don't they? Yeah, Starfield. You guys are talking about Starfield a lot. I'm definitely going to have a look at this. Space disappointment. Why? Why? I'm on the bottom of the chat now, guys. I made it. Angry says, you too, Rusty. For what? I don't know. Is it possible to put the host in a 2-minute timeout? Hamilton's been aggressive on a couple of occasions, but only when he's had to be. Normally, he's been backing out of aggressive situations with Max. And a couple of times he didn't. And good for him. Yeah, 2 wheels is exciting as well, Simondo. Yeah, I have watched the bikes. I do like the bikes. I haven't watched it for years, but yeah. Hey, too late, he's gone. Evan Cairo, hey, are we still able to port our progress from console to PC? See, well, this is the thing, right? Because this is what we're hoping. That a lot of people are asking this, I think, on the forum. And Frontier, in fact, let's nip over. We're going to have to get rid of the chat off the screen, though. But it'll still be on the replay. Hold on, guys. Just trying to do this. Are we there? Yeah. All right. So this is the... I think I'm going to probably have to refresh the page now because it's probably got more than 7 pages. Oh, 23 pages now. It's a little bit of a jump. So let's go through some of the comments. I'm not going to bring anybody down, but I'm going to have my own opinion. But if somebody says something that I don't agree with, I'm going to say it. And if they say something I do agree with, I'm going to say it. So let's run through it. Okay, so Obsidian's just made a silly comment there. He should have read the post. Sorry, Obsidian. But yeah, it was pretty clarified already. Dinky Bird, thanks, Dave. Oh, okay, first name terms then. See, straight away, right? So a volunteer moderator, Stormy, has said, can we now have a way to transfer console accounts to PC, please? Seeing as it's down on the console now. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be asking for this. And so I've just read Steve Zodiac's message. Hot girls and boys waiting for you. Oh, Ratstar, stop. Don't feed me, man. Don't poke me with that stick. But the beginning of the race, he was pushed off the track. Max pushed him off again. Please don't poke me, man, because I bite. I do bite. I don't bite in Elite Dangerous, but I bite with Formula 1. And even you said it yourself. Exactly, Jose. Jose Jimenez. Yeah, I said that, like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes ago. The only reason anyone whinges and moans about ED is because they do care and love the game. Yeah, I think that's in most cases. I don't think that's in all of the cases. Some people just like to have a moan and a whinge and a troll. And I don't have any time for those people, really. But, yes, I think a lot of the people do whinge and moan because of that. Definitely. And I think even the biggest whinger of all, which isn't Yamix, it's somebody else. I'm not going to mention his name. Maybe I should. Yeah, I don't care. Lucosa, Commander Lucosa. Mr. Profanity himself. He swears and moans and whinges and calls the game out. But I think it's for the same reason. I think he wants the game to be the best it can be. He sticks with it. But yeah, he's, you know, I think you're right. I think we do whinge and moan because we want it to be good. So let's see what they do. Yeah. Oh, you guys with the F1. Okay, we'll do an F1 stream then. We'll do a Formula 1 stream, and you guys can come and debate me, okay? I'm happy with that. But don't get pissed off if I fire back at you, eh? Don't get pissed off and say, right, I'm not going to subscribe anymore, Rusty. You're a dick. Don't be doing that. Because when it comes to Formula One, I will debate my ass off. Yeah, but I'm happy to do it if you guys are up for it. But yeah, not safe for work. Right, let's have a look. So, not good news. I myself have a PC, but in my opinion, final blow to console player base of the game. Ouch, yeah, thanks for the update. See there, my condolences to the console brethren who've been patient for so long. Yeah, I echo that. Just exchanging informations. Yeah, but you know where that goes. Yeah, that's fine, High Kicker. Not everybody can support the same driver. That's absolutely fine. Yep, that's fine. Everyone has their own driver, and it's cool. As long as people stick to the facts and where the evidence points, I'm fine. I'll debate with, not argue, but I'll debate with you on anything. But just keep it within the realms of reality and not emotion. Talking of. Understandably, people are going to have strong emotions about this. Please, however, when replying, keep it civil. Yep. There you go. There's the answer from Obsidian. We have no plans to develop Odyssey for next-gen consoles. Now, this one, here we go. Can we now have a way to transfer the accounts to PC? We are exploring options for transfers, but at present have nothing to announce. So, that's the line, at least on page 1. I don't think anything will have changed, but yeah, we are exploring options for transfer. So at least that's something in terms of, you know, people who have, what do you call it, PCs, to be able to do something with that transfer. Yeah. It's like 20 people disappeared from the watching since I talked Formula One. Run. Yeah, we need to transfer accounts to PC. Yeah. I mean, you guys can see here. I'm not going to go through all 23 pages. This doesn't bode well for future PC optimization. I couldn't disagree more. I think it does bode well for future PC optimization. Sort of. It means they can now focus more on it, but it might also be the case that maybe they don't think they can squeeze too much more out of it. And that's why they couldn't get it on the console. So that might ring true to a point, but I wouldn't put this down as gospel. Obsidian. See, I don't like the way he's phrased this, guys. He says, as a side note, it's a shame you guys can't give any details on why you have made this decision, but I understand Frontier's reluctance to discuss it. I wouldn't have phrased it this way, because he said it's a shame that you guys can't give any details. Well, how does he know that they can't? Maybe they can, but they just chose not to. So I would have said it's a shame that you guys haven't given any details on why you made the decision. Yeah, I don't know how you can determine that they can't. I'm sure they could if they wanted to. They obviously do know the reason. And I hope they do. I hope they do let us know. 100 likes. Oh, yeah, cool. Thank you, everyone. Got 100 likes. Oh, God. It's a mixture of F1 and Elite chat in the thing now. If PC community would help out getting me back up on the mods, I would be willing to start up and switch to PC. Man, such a shame. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it, Gumbo? Let's just flick through a few. Do a few pages at the beginning, do a couple in the middle, and do a couple at the end. I expected as much ever since Odyssey release. Okay. it was pretty hard to determine whether it would come on console at the release date. I was a bit early, I think. But I think as the months wore on, it was probably becoming more and more of a popular opinion that it wouldn't come on consoles, I think. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Will you rewrite the console first UI of Odyssey? You know, the circle menu. I think the circle menu, yeah, it works on the PC. It's not ideal. I mean, you've seen me with the bloody thing, bringing it up and then trying to swing the mouse round to try and get to the right piece of the pie in that circle, and sometimes it's a little bit fiddly, especially when you need it quickly. So yeah, maybe they can look at that. I don't know. Why would they do a console UI kind of in Odyssey without it even being on a console? I don't know. Yeah, I can already sense this should have been posted 8 months ago. But no, because they probably could nowhere near make that determination 8 months ago. I reckon they've, pushed to try and do this, and they just can't get it. Either can't get it working, or there's some corporate business reason for it. I mean, who knows? So, yeah. How many of you guys, if you are a console-only player and you don't have a PC, let me know and you haven't already said so, let me know your thoughts on this. Oh, God. Not the best news, but I suppose I can at least stop saving up for a PS5 now. Wow. But what's he doing this on, a phone? Wouldn't he have a... Oh, maybe he's got a laptop. I don't know. I don't know what his situation is. He hasn't got a PC powerful enough to run it yet. Yeah. I have Odyssey on my PC and will likely not touch ED on PlayStation anymore. If you've got Odyssey on a PC though, unless you've got a really high level of hours on a PlayStation account, I don't see why you would need to touch the PlayStation version. Hello, Zoltan. Am I still using Hortas? Not really dangerous. Not really dangerous. I don't. I just use a joystick and keys and mouse and Xbox controller. The only time I use my throttle is when I can turn it upside down, use it backwards, and I use it on Microsoft Flight Sim for the aircraft. That's it. I use voice packs for the radial menus. Yeah, again, and that's something you can't do on a console. You can't get the voice packs and stuff. Or you can't use Market Connector, to connect and log into EDSM and look at your progress and stuff like that. You can't do none of that on a console. Garfield, is that right? Can I just say Garfield? I know it's G43F1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're on console. Console only, right? No PC option. See, oops. That was the English Gent who just subscribed. Thank you so much, English Gent. I'm going to have to find a way to put these alerts over onto my browser page. Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. Now, where was I? I was reading a... Oh, I don't know what I was going to say there now. I was in the middle of I just read something. I mentioned about the voice packs. I can't remember. What's the dog doing? Nothing. It's just when somebody subscribes, it chimes in with Rusty, with an alert with Rusty howling. So yeah, if you want to hear the dog howl, just subscribe. The English gent says, I'm a console-only player. Thanks for the sub, by the way. I'm a console-only player. No intention of getting a PC just for Elite. Okay, that's understandable. I wasn't shocked by this, just numb. It's only after talking to my Elite buddies I realised the sadness of it all. Yeah. Especially if your Elite buddies are PC guys and they've got it and now you can't have it. Ugh. Oh, it's so... I know, like I say, this is coming from, like me, I don't even own a console, don't have one, and, I can really sympathize with you guys because I know how it would feel the other way around. Like, if Elite Dangerous was not on the console, this wouldn't be a thing. But not only is it on the console, not only did they say that Odyssey was going to come to console, unfortunately, this doesn't look good on Frontier. It's like, it's one of those epic fail, Let's see if they can do something to make it up to the console players, and I don't know how. I don't know. What do you do? There's nothing really you can do. Clarity is good, it is, but although I am on the PC side of things, it feels like a leg has been amputated. So many players left behind. Yeah. It's sad to think of it like that. But realistically, I mean, this is correct, and I agree with this 100%, but realistically, the situation today is no different than what it was yesterday or last month, It just means, obviously, that console players will not be getting the option to upgrade to Odyssey. It's a shame. Okay, here's the other side of the coin. As Elite should be, a PC game. I'm sorry for the console community anyway. Yeah, you guys can react to these comments if you want. Why not? And I'm sorry if I miss your chat on the thing, but I'm trying to read from these as well. Right, let's have a read this one. To be honest, games with such a long lifespan as Elite are not very good for consoles in the first place. Well, that is a point, because if a game's got a 10-year lifespan, consoles don't really have a 10-year lifespan, do they? They've been superseded a couple of times in that spin. That's not an unfair point, but still. While you can always upgrade your PC every couple of years, you cannot do so on the console. No, you need a new console. So while Elite in 5 years' time from now on can still run on PCs, it won't be able to run on current gen consoles like Xbox Series or 5. Well, that's an assumption. I don't know. Maybe not. In other words, the next big update for Elite will likely run into the very same problems Odyssey did. Yes, maybe. But with the current or even the next gen of consoles. Yeah, it's very possible. It really, really sucks for our console commanders. See, I like that. That's a very nice community-driven way of saying it. Our console commanders. It's like it's all one big community. It's not three separate ones. Yeah, I like that. It sucks for our console commanders, and I honestly hope there will be an unlimited option to transfer your console commanders to PC. But again, that only helps the people with PCs that can run the game. And they still have to buy it. Both Elite Dangerous and Odyssey. Maybe they could stick both of them on Steam sale for a month or so. I don't know. Without any losses in terms of progress. Yes, of course, definitely. It's the only way they can do it. Otherwise, don't bother. If you can't transfer every asset and every credit and every engineer upgrade, then just don't it's not. Is it really worth bothering about? You want everything over there, including that on the PC it says that you've put 2,653 hours in. You want that number still there. Yeah, so you want your whole commander profile switched over. And yes, switching to PC from console is going to suck even double considering the current state of the global economy. Yeah. Bad news is better than no news. Is it? I don't know. Maybe. Never saw this happening for console with all the issues. Oh, he's being sarcastic. Okay. Still had the fingers crossed though. All right, let's jump into somewhere. We're at 25 pages. Let's go to page 12 and see if anything's heating up there. It does. Horizons does run well on a low-spec PC, but once you plug in Odyssey, no pun intended, but it's a whole different world. Yeah, so this is one of the Frontier crew. We are investigating potential options. I guess that's referring to the transfer again. Is that the same comment that we looked at earlier? We don't have anything to announce at present. I think this is a different comment, but saying the same thing. So in terms of transfers, yeah, they seem to be looking into it. So considering that they've just let everybody down here with the thing, I don't know how much you want to cross your fingers on this one. Ooh, you bugger. And that is Crazy Wolfman who just subscribed. Thank you, Crazy Wolfman. I appreciate your subscription and support. Thank you. And there it is on the stream elements. Yeah, it is true that games on a PC have got more longevity than console, because consoles, it's like the iPhones, where the big companies convince you that you need the latest one every time, and you don't, but they convince you, they make you think you do. Rinky dinky do. That's what that sounded like. Servers will remain on. You will still be able to play Horizons content. For how long? Well, they're not going to know the answer to how long, are they? Complete carrier support for consoles. Critical. Okay, not going to go through that too much. I think it would be very generous of Frontier to offer some bit of compensation for those affected, to include a complimentary copy of the game. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't know. I mean, they wouldn't kind of lose out, really, so to speak, because it's no difference to them to stick out, a couple of free digital downloads. But it means that by doing so, the game won't be bought. So they will lose out in that respect. So it's, I can't see them going this far. Complimentary copies for all people affected. How do you... Yeah, okay, well, I don't know. I can't see that happening. You have an API which can forward PC console players' status to third-party sites. But is that everything? Crazy Wolfman. Being honest, I'm finished after reading this. Probably like most people, I'll move back to No Man's Sky. But thanks for all the good times, and I hope the PC version goes for all you commanders. Yeah, I hope this isn't going to affect... I'm going to be having a selfish moment here, and I hope it doesn't affect, people watching my channel or anything like that, because a lot of people will be leaving, and, I don't want to lose any, at least people, names that I know that are there every time I stream. It'd be such a shame. But if people want to rage quit, I can't blame any of them. I would understand it. Or maybe just rage quit for a couple of months and then come back to it. But it worked well for Lewis. FDev, this is shambolic. This is what I like. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. This is shambolic. 7 years of effort down the toilet. Not really. That's not true. Because there's no way you put in 7 years of effort for Odyssey. You didn't even know Odyssey was coming until yeah, stick to the real stuff. This is not true. You know, your effort isn't down the toilet. It just means you can't continue in Odyssey. That's all. Nothing's stopping you from continuing playing the game. It's only down the toilet if you choose to quit now. But that's on you. Anyway, the only way you can rescue this situation is if you figure out a way of transferring everything. And yeah, true in a way, but even that's not a full rescue, because not everybody can benefit from this. Not every console owner has got a PC, and even if they do, is it powerful enough to run it? And they'll have to go out and spend, I don't know, 30, 40, what is it, 40, 50 bucks to get both Horizons and Odyssey? I don't know. Yeah. This isn't this transference to PC isn't a get out of jail free card for Frontier. This is going to appease some people, but not all. You know. Oh yeah, people are going to rage on Frontier, not rage quit the game because of the game, but they'll rage quit because out of principles, maybe. You know, like a principle thing. Because they'll feel that they've been shafted. You know? That's the thing. They're going to feel like they've been shafted. And we've been going for 2.5 hours. Wowza! Anyway, it's good. People need to vent. Ooh! That is Johnny Home Khan just subscribed. Thank you, Johnny. I've got more subscribers on this stream than I have in the last month. Whoa, we got another one. You're going to make me say this one? Oh, yeah. Teenage Ninja. Gotcha. Okay, I decoded that one. Took me a while. Teenage Ninja, thank you for your sub. Appreciate it. Did they have a Mac version that got dropped? Wow. Yeah, well, clearly from now on it's PC. And that's it. It's PC only now. So... they've made the decision. Future plans. This is the problem. I don't think any of their future plans are going to contain a console version. I think that's it. People are savage here. We haven't got anything to announce at present. Well, yeah, we've heard that before, right? I wonder if Frontier could have looked into transferring accounts to PC before putting out the announcement. Because if they can, let's say, right, hypothetical situation, let's say in 2 weeks' time, Frontier come out and say, right, we've worked out all the little niggles and we can actually do transferring of accounts to PC for those that have got it. It would have been so much better to switch those events around and say, well, we're dropping support for the consoles, but we can offer transfer to those people. That comes across at least with a little bit of, you know, cushioning, so to speak. Got some adulting to do, Dave. Okay, Dave, take care, matey. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. So, yeah. Rage quitting is an expression of principle. Oh, yeah. It's a good reason. If people think they're being shafted by the developer, they'll just say, right, screw you then. I'm not going to play your game anymore. Of course, it is true that if you've already bought the game, it's not going to affect them so much. Yeah, and then at the end of the day, the only loser is the player. Ugh. So what does WarBRD have to say? With this bad move, yeah, well, it might be the only move they had. I don't know. We don't know, do we? They should let us know, but maybe it would be worse for them if they did. So with this bad move regarding console players, I'm going to leave Elite for good. Oh dear. But okay, I think he's just saying it's a very bad move. Shows no consideration for console users. Well, it depends. If they have spent months trying, then they have been considering console users. But again, this all boils down to what's the reason? Why can't they do it? And unless we know that, we can't really jump to jump to conclusions that there's been no consideration, that, you know, it's a bad move. It's a move, and it's not a good one for the consolers, but they're making it sound like it's a deliberate thing from Frontier to screw people over, and I don't believe that's the case. Why is Odyssey 18 rated? Do you know what? Do you know what, Chris? It was I think a few months ago. Somebody mentioned this I'm sure it was on my stream, one of my streams, where they mentioned about Odyssey being a different rating, and that can affect I don't know if it was licensing or certainly getting the product put onto console. But aren't there 18 rated games on console? On Foot Combat, really? On Foot Combat gets you 18 rated? Jeez. Man. What kind of nursery are we living in? It's like that thing, isn't it, where you in America and the United States, you could join the army and go out in the field at 16 years old, but you couldn't play Call of Duty until you were 18. So you can go and shoot somebody in for real when you're 16, 17, but you have to wait till you're 18 until you can play the game with it that does that. Odyssey is listed as PEGI 16. There you go. Yeah, so I don't know. But that could have been a thing. Rating is high due to humanoid being shown as being killed. Yeah. Because they don't really have, effectively, they don't really have kills, do they, in Elite? Because you always spawn back. Your ship gets exploded, but I think the narrative is, you know, that you're floating out in space in your life thing, capsule. Let's jump to a couple of pages from the end then. Go to 25. I won't be able to keep up with it. Oh, here we go. We're getting into the arguments now. Judge it by what you have now and not what it's... Don't even want to get in on somebody's argument here. If he thinks we're all suddenly going to bite on PC, he's mistaken. I don't think he's thinking that at all. They should be at least releasing it on PS5 and Xbox X, not cancelling it. Yeah, but again, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say that there must be a specific reason why they're not, and it might not just be down to performance issues. It might be something else. It might be just a big upheaval and a big, what do you call it, manpower exercise thing within Frontier to do something for, what was it, 20%, 30% of the player base. That's a chunk though. I think it's worth doing it for 20% of the player base. But I'm not in the business, so maybe the numbers don't work for Frontier. Hello, Morn. I am back. Did you miss much? Yeah, 2.5 hours of chat about the topic title. Yeah, how many C's have I shot in the head? Yeah, fair point. However, though, you don't see... It's not like some games like Sniper Elite where you've got a slow motion bullet and you see it going into the guy's head and the brain coming out and, you know, legs come off. You don't get that in Frontier. It's just like you know, you just, and you get there's no blood in Odyssey. There's nothing. Okay, Frank, so they're putting it into their F1 Manager game with the license. Yes. But so the license costs money, okay? We know that. It costs a big wad of cash for that. So wouldn't it be in Frontier's interests then to get Odyssey out on all the platforms so they can rake more money in from it? Because I don't know if they're going to reap... I don't know what they paid for the license. I know it ain't cheap. And yeah, because I think they're sharing it as well with EA. Who does the F1 games? Those, yeah, EA, Electronic Arts, I think. Yeah, so they're going to want to get as much money back in as possible, and I wouldn't rely on the F1 Manager game to bring it all back in because it's too niche. It's it's not even an F1 racing game. It's a manager game. It's very niche. Have they got the F2 and F3? They probably got yeah, it's probably a license that covers, I don't know, maybe you get they pay one amount for all 3 licenses. Yeah. I don't know what the F2, F3 licenses are, but I know the F1 is super pricey. And they don't give it out to anybody either. So kudos to Frontier for getting the F1 license in the first place, because they don't just give that out to anybody who asks for it, so yeah, I don't know. And I think they even oversee the stuff, the FOM, the Formula One management. They oversee what you're doing to make sure that they approve with everything that's going out there. Elite doing Sniper Elite. Yeah, can you imagine? Someone's put Raxlet is another lie. Yeah. No one has found it yet. They haven't found it, but apparently one person has travelled through the system where Raxlet is and not realised it, according to Frontier. Yeah, well, if there was a hell for English lies, then, maybe. I don't think there is such a thing, but there you go, that's my opinion. What else have we got here then? Extremely disappointed that Frontier has abandoned ship on console players. I have only been playing the game recently in hopes of finally getting to land on the worlds. Well, you can do that already, just not the atmospheric ones. I have discovered... Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't finish the sentence. My bad. My bad. Yeah, finally getting to land on the worlds I have discovered when Odyssey dropped. Does that mean that he's been playing it on a PC already? No, that will never happen because your crew doesn't want to keep working on the technical challenges. But is that what it is, though? I mean, that's being presumed. I don't know if that's what it is. So you're just cutting us adrift. Terrible decision. I've even purchased things a few times knowing I didn't need them just to support your company in the hopes of seeing Odyssey. Okay. Well, you can't blame them for that. That's a decision you took. But at the same time, kudos for doing that. That's a nice thing. And I feel cheated. Naturally. Not many of us have had have an extra grand laying around to simply throw a PC together, run Odyssey. And now Frontier has seen the last cent of money they will ever see from me, and that includes not purchasing content. I'm sure Frontier developments expected this kind of backlash. You care so much about the long-term success of your game that you decide to abandon half your player base. I think people just want to stick half in there without realizing that it isn't. Do you know what? This is so hypocritical. I mean, who is this? Artistic. Sorry, Artistic, but don't say you're quitting on the game. Oh, well, actually, no. To be fair, he hasn't said that. He's just said they've seen the last cent of my money. And no, he's not buying any of the content. He's not saying he's quitting, so fair enough. It's just that when he went on to describe Frontier as quitters, you can't do that if you're quitting the game yourself. But he's not saying that, so, hands up, that's not it. Okay, so I need to read the full posts, really. Let's check the... Oh, what? How did Oh, okay. Soldier American. Yeah, I got your message. Yeah, unfortunate. Consoles will not experience Odyssey. It is. But yeah, not into the God thing, but thanks anyway. Splitting the devs between Odyssey and F1. I don't know. They don't do that. They've got separate buildings and separate departments. There's no way you're going to get any dev. I don't think so. Maybe, working on Odyssey, and then say, oh, by the way, you're not working on Odyssey anymore. You're going to work on the F1 game. It's not. I don't think it's that clear cut. If they can afford the F1 license, they can afford to employ more people, more devs. So far, all I've seen from it is cinematic shots. Yeah, I've just seen cinematic. I saw the trailer. It was all cinematic. So I'm not paying any attention to it. Because it doesn't tell me a damn thing about what it's going to look like. So, yeah. I think it's more for financial reasons than mere manpower, says Ramoyne. Plus, I think it's an engine-related thing. Yeah, again, it could be the limitations of the engine, perhaps. But if it is, if Odyssey's already pushing the limitations of the engine, what the hell are they going to do in the future when they want to bring something else out? I don't know. Are we going to get this same crap the next time around? With the performance? Or by the time the next release comes out, they're expecting us all to have these super fast PCs, I don't know. Not everybody's got the same budget, If my PC blew up today, I'm screwed. I've got a laptop and it's not going to play Odyssey. I'd be screwed. So, yeah, we're not all flushed that we can just go out and buy a PC to play Odyssey on. The Unreal Engine is a good one. Yeah, I'm amazed with the Unreal Engine, especially, I didn't think they'd be able to write a good sim racing game with Unreal Engine. And then when Kunos Simulazione, I'm going to get all Italian now, when Kunos Simulazione announced that Assetto Corsa Competizione was going to be written with the Unreal Engine, I just thought, oh God, it's going to be arcadey. And it turns out it wasn't. It's one of the best racing sims you can get out there. Probably the best. Next to iRacing. It's probably the best you can get. And now, since then, they've got Unreal Engine 5. But, which is even more incredible, Unreal Engine 5 is just next level stuff. But, how do you port Elite Dangerous across into that? If they can't port console accounts over onto PC, don't expect them to port. Unless, of course, they rewrite the whole thing and do like Elite Dangerous 2 with the Unreal Engine. Yeah. What engine is Star Citizen using? Weren't they using Unreal, or did they start using the Crytek engine and then they switched to something else later on? Aren't they on Unreal or something like that, or have they got their own bespoke engine? Is poor performance for the reason for the console failure? I don't know, Malcolm. Don't know. It could be, because I don't know whether it's a condition that you have to have 60 frames per second constant no matter what. It can't drop below. And even the PCs, well, unless you've got, you know, some of the main ones, they would have to cut so many corners to maintain 60 frames per second on a, you know, like turning graphics settings down, and it wouldn't look the best it could be. And then they're going to get slated for it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Frank. You see, these are the situations. Everyone's in different positions. You know, different situations in life. Why buy it? Why buy it in PC if they can't trust the word of the developers that the game will continue? That's not the part that's in doubt, is it? Has anyone got any PC owners got any mistrust that the Elite Dangerous is going to continue? I think Braben's message said exactly the opposite. They were focusing on the long term of the game, right? A good PC costs 4,000 Australian dollars. Yeah, Xbox. Yeah, no, the consoles are cheaper. Oh, Star Citizen uses the Crytek engine, right? CryEngine. That's a decent engine as well. That's a decent engine. CryEngine. But you guys have seen the Unreal Engine 5. What do they call it? Not the teaser. Yeah, I suppose the trailer about Unreal Engine 5. It's crazy what this thing can do. Billions of polygons on the screen at the same time and no frame rate loss. This thing's nuts. Has there been any games developed fully with Unreal Engine 5 yet? Because when I was blown away when I saw the video about it, when it was I think it was a couple of days before they released it. It was bonkers. Yeah. The city demo. Yeah. Yeah, the city demo, and then they had that one where they were inside with all the, you know, the sandy kind of stones and stuff. That was crazy. Unreal Engine 5 is just next level. It's amazing. But it can't cope with a full planet landing scene like Cobra does. Really? After all they showed? Matrix game is made with Unreal 5. I'll have to check that out then. The lighting in it and everything. And they were showing polygon, I don't know if it's tessellation or what, but the way that they broke down polygons where rocks, you know, like sandy rocks kind of thing. Like it wasn't even bump mapped. It was all individual polygons for each one. It was crazy. That's how it looked anyway. No distrust, says Loot. The future of Horizons is pretty shaky. I don't know. I don't see that. You know, you can't play Odyssey without Horizons. And I think they're committing to a PC future with Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous being Horizons and Odyssey together. They're committing to that. So if you want to be on that train, you're going to need Odyssey. Yeah. I think that's pretty much the upshot, right? I don't think there's any, you know, it's not like Horizon is going to go anywhere. From a console point of view, I think it's staying around for now. I don't see why it's moving. That is Brian G who just subscribed. Thank you, Brian, for your sub. Wow, I'm doing really well today. Thank you, guys, and 121 likes. That's amazing. That's a good point, Morn. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna ask for a refund, are they? It's true, though. You buy the game for what it is, not for what it might be. It's true. Right, let's get through. Let's go. Oh, I didn't want to do next. They've got next previous, but they don't have a last. Let's go here. 29. Anyone agree with this one, that the game was lost when Drew Wagar moved on? Anybody agree with that? I think the game dropped when Sandro Samarco and left, and the other dude. God, I spoke to the guy and I can't even remember his name. Michael Brooks. I think it's a shame that Elite Dangerous lost those guys. I don't know whether they wanted to leave and go and work on a different Frontier developments game, because I think Sandro went to work on a different Frontier game. But I always felt those guys were like the core dudes, you know. Brian G said, I had the choice to buy Odyssey for my birthday, but still on the fence about buying it. This for PC? You mean for PC? If you're on the fence, I don't know, I'd maybe just not look at the combat on foot aspect so much, and instead, oh, my ship's doing okay for fuel. I think it's just, yeah, I think it looks like it's refilled itself. Why can't we synthesize fuel for the ship? Yeah, I think if you like exploration as well, it's maybe another reason to look at Odyssey. Yeah. Sandro and Marco. Marco. Who's Marco? I know that name, man, but I can't get it in my head. Let's have a look. See. So yeah, you guys have got all of this forum chat here. Yeah, look at this one. That's very telling, isn't it? All of those platforms were surrounded 1 to 2 years ago. Man, that paints a different light on things, doesn't it? As a console player since the game was released on early access for Xbox, who's been constantly lied to and tossed to the wayside in the development process, I don't give two shits about the long-term life of the game anymore. I'm going to just be tossed to the side and no longer be considered a part of it anymore. Choke on a bag of Richards. Wow. Oh, autocorrect. Oh, sorry, Sandro Samarco. Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was forming in my head like that. Sandro and Marco. That's awesome. I love it. Sandro and Marco. Hello, I'm Sandro and I'm Marco. Together we're Sandro and Marco. Anyway, sorry. I digress. I was going to say I digest, but there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. There we have it. Let's get back to thingy. and my perpetual defueling ship got half a tank. I don't know what I had when I came here, but I had more than half a tank. Oh, you know what? When I'm doing messages on the phone, I tend to use my voice. And I'll tell you now, the iPhone Siri picks up my words far more accurately than the one that's on the Google Androidy thing. Siri's really good at picking up the stuff, and so is, mind you, Alexa is also really good at. You can talk to Alexa like you're just casually chatting to somebody, like I am talking to you right now. You know, where in the old days when you had to talk to a computer, it was like staccato, you had to just put spaces in between. Put the light on. But with Alexa, you can just go, Alexa, turn the light on. Just like that, and she'll just do it. It's advanced so much. And how many people have just had their lights turned? I did that. I've done that a couple of times on my streams, Alexa, tell me a joke. And then people have got it on their speakers and their Alexa's all going to go off. Yeah, this is where we were, guys. Oh, try asking Alexa, Gumbo. Ask Alexa, just say, can you hear everything I say? And she'll give you an answer. We respect your privacy. And she'll give you all this spiel about, yeah. Hey, Aquatic. So, the future of Elite Dangerous. Where are we going? Where are we going? I don't think Horizon's going anywhere. PC-wise, I don't think Horizon's going anywhere soon. I don't see any reason to think why it would go anywhere soon on the consoles either. I think as long as Horizons is, But here's the thing. Just thinking, guys, just interrupting myself. What I mentioned about when they bring out the next big update, when they merged Elite Dangerous and Horizons together, because it used on the launcher, it used to be you could either play Elite Dangerous, or you could eight. I don't do 8-minute videos, Flexi. I talk to people. I've got people in the chat and I talk to them. I spend time with people. I don't just do 8 minutes of swearing, unless I'm sim racing. What was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought again. Yeah. So the merging. So if we got Horizons merged, and then people who didn't have Horizons got it for free. If they do that with Odyssey in the future, and they merge Odyssey with Horizons, then what happens on the consoles? They're going to still have to have the just Horizons SnowRunner. They're going to have just the just the Horizons version. And also the the merge is scary from the point of view is a lot of people might not want the merge because they don't want a game that performs worse on their computer than what Horizons did on its own. So it might not be until we're all running 3090s that they merge it. Yeah. Yeah, if you want a quick video, 8 minutes 41. I don't even need to watch it to know what he said. Everyone's getting screwed, Frontier of this and blah blah blah. I think I will watch it though. I can give up 8 minutes for that one. But yeah, no. What have I been going for now? Nearly 3 hours, something like that. Crazy. 3 hours exactly. There should only have been like a 45-minute conversation. But I like talking. There's 90 people watching and a lot of people are talking on the chat and I like to talk with you guys. You know? It's like if I had people in my house talking about Elite Dangerous, we could easily sit and chat for 3 hours. Right? Yeah. Iron Man. Elite streaming. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to just... I can't do that video where I just pile in and just say, Frontier this and, you know, that, you know, I can't do that. I can't do that. Got to try and see it from all sides. I've got the gift of the gab. I know I should be a radio DJ, shouldn't I? Radio Rusty. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Welcome to Radio Rusty. Can you imagine me as a DJ? A huge mushroom. Is that all you were thinking of, Soul? Oh my god. I'll never stop seeing that now. Thanks. Thank you, Saul. Never stop seeing that now. Please, let's have the sunset. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I try and keep it balanced. I mean, obviously, you can't balance this one very well because it's bad for the console owners. There's no getting away from that. Radio Rusty. Would it be Radio Rusty or Rusty Radio? I don't know. That's okay, Saul. Don't apologize. Oh, come on, Ramoyne. Curious as to what Yamix has to say, and you have to go now? It's still going to be there later. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I think I've probably said everything that needs to be said. Not a great day, and I'm sure Frontier know it. But for the PC owners, maybe this means something better for us. You know, I'm not going to gloat on it because it's not a gloaty thing. I don't mean it in that way. But the one thing I do hope that comes out of this is, at least for some people who can make, who can benefit from it, that Frontier do find a way to transfer everything from the console account to a PC account. Everything. Not just credit, nothing. The whole lot. You wouldn't choke on a bag though, would you? You'd just choke on one of them perhaps. Is my Conda Jewish? It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah. We need to change the angle of this. Yes, I've got a big one, haven't I, guys? Look at the size of mine. Where's the sun anyway? Well, I guess we're in there it is, over there. Right. What does that look like now? A mask? What do I think will be the next step after carrier interiors? Well, somebody suggested now they can go on, now they can, sorry, I was reading half of another ship there. Yeah, ship interiors. Yeah, ship interiors, maybe they'll focus on that now. Or maybe not. Maybe they'll just carry on. Obviously, they have a roadmap. We're not privy to it yet. Like Microsoft show you their roadmap for the year. We don't have a roadmap for Frontier. They're very to themselves with that stuff. But if they've got they've obviously done this move with the consoles with some kind of, with the roadmap in mind, whatever they've got in planned. So maybe now they're just going to focus on that. Blinkers on and just focus on that. And maybe that does not include ship interiors. They've got to do interiors for what? How many different ships are there out there? 30 plus? But for me, I don't want them if it's just to walk around in. They have to be functional. I've said that before. You know, I need a place where I can put my guns, a place where I can have my suit. I want a place where I can see the cargo. Maybe even doors on the back of big ships to drive the SRV into. I don't know. But that's a lot of work. I don't think they'll do the last thing, by the way. I think the SRV is always going to get sucked up from the bottom. More exploration content, as Aquatic says, would be nice. 37 ships. Is it 37? I think I own 31 of them. Not necessarily different ones. I may have 2 of the same thing, but yeah, I think I've got about 28, 29 different ships. No, it can't even be that. Maybe it is, yeah. So, yeah, more exploration content. We could certainly do with... We've got lovely planets now, but we could certainly do with more things to do out here. I don't know what that would be, because out in real space, I'm sure it's pretty damn boring. But different types of planets to be able to land on. Thicker atmospheres. Weather. So, you know, you're coming in through the atmosphere and you've got storms and the ships are getting buffeted. And depending on how big your ship is, depending on how much buffeting you're going to get. The same as in flight sim. An Airbus A320 is not going to suffer anywhere near in a storm what a Cessna is going to suffer. So, that kind of thing, you know, where if you're in a little Cobra, you have to try and get the thing down on the ground. I don't know. Sulfuric rain. God knows. There's Elite's got so much potential. We've discussed it so many times. I'm sure all of you guys could probably write down 10 ideas that you want to put in Elite Dangerous. Base building. I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing for me, base building, because it's like, if I build my base, obviously they're gonna turn. See, this is the thing, right? Now, don't get. You got to be careful what you wish for, guys, because you don't want people saying, "Oh, we want base building. We want base building." And if they give that to you, do not whinge because you know it's going to be a grind. You know they're going to make you grind for the materials to build your base. So you don't get to complain about that grind afterwards, after you've asked for the base building, because you have to know what's tied to that, right? But then if you put your settlement down on a planet, can you put another one somewhere else? Are we going to have an entire street? How is it going to work? Is it destructible? Can ships blow them up? And if not, why not? How are they indestructible? And we have a little garage next to it to put the SRV in. A settlement manager with prefabs. Yeah. Or maybe you can go and buy your own settlement. Hire your own scavengers to protect it. Thank you, Steve Zodiac. Take care, matey. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, I'd like to explore. For me, exploration, I'd like to have things like ice with ice planets, for example. I'd like to have icy caves. I'd like to be able to walk into caves, whether it's rocky or icy, and maybe mine things. I'd like to be able to mine things, have a little gun, and just be able to do on-foot mining, where you're literally mining out of caves. Yeah, so like diamond mines in ice diamonds inside of caves or something, that kind of things. So, yeah. Morn says I'm okay with grinding. Yeah. Well, as we know, grinding is a you know what I'm going to say. Grinding is a player. It's a player invented thing. Like, yeah, it's the player that starts the grind, not the game. It's a choice. Grinding is a player choice. That's what I meant to say. Yes, you don't have to grind, but if you do, it's a choice you make. Yeah, mining on planets, the ability to get out and either on foot or with an SRV to repair certain things on your ship. Power plant, power plant, power plant. So any repairs you need to do out in the black, you can do it with your tools, with your SRV, with a tool that you can carry on one of your suits, anything like that. So yeah, stock up on power regulators. Yeah, I better monitor my fuel. I think the reserve tank goes down first, right? Then the reserve tank gets, yeah, it's moving. Maybe we should get up there. Let me just see where we are, because I might want to just quickly go and scoop. Oh, we're down here. What is this? M class. Let's go and have a quick scoop off that. At least we'll get some. Well, it's not really gaming. It's not a gaming stream. Yeah. If I was David Braben, man, I would have just written that post. I saw it on Facebook. I think it came out on Facebook just a little bit after it came out on the thing. James Taylor, hey man, thank you for the sub. But yeah, I'm sure if I was Mr. Braben, I would have written that, pressed the send button, and then just left the office and gone out and actually had a coffee or a drink, and then just don't even look at the backlash. I'm actually flying. I'm flying, loot. Guys, thanks for all the likes today and all of you here for watching. Thank you, and all the subs. Thank you for your support, guys. It means a lot. You guys are brilliant. When are we today? We are Thursday, right? Friday? I have got no idea where I am. Thursday. Should we stream something today? I feel like sim racing, but I don't think you guys would probably watch that. Braben probably did do that. Yeah, Thursday. Slightly off. I've spent the entire day, like since 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. watching the Formula One testing. And that it's the same tomorrow and it's the same Saturday. 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. with a 1 hour break in the middle. And because I'm such a big F1 crazy nutcase, I watch every minute of it. In my cupboard here, I have VHS videotapes. For those who don't know what they are, they're plastic tapes. Yeah, VHS videotapes with every practice session, qualifying session and race since 1994. So, when I say, if you want to debate with me, make sure you have the facts. Make sure you have the facts. Yes, more interstellar phenomena will be cool. You know, it doesn't matter if they whiz up into the realms of a little bit of fiction, that's fine. I mean, I don't think spiky dudes exist out there. but we get to make it up. Bit of creative license. Yes, so I think my VHS tapes start at 1994, and I can pretty much go from the VHS tapes to when they were stored. I'll tell you a little something as well. When they were stored on DVD, and then when they were now on digital media, which I have them all on digital media. Everything up to everything up to the last race that we just had in 2021. I don't keep the practice sessions anymore, but I watch them. But qualifying and race, yes. Back in the day, right, in Gibraltar, right? So Gibraltar's right next to Spain, okay? Now, back in the day, Eurosport used to do the F1 coverage, and then it was, I think it was John Watson and Ben Edwards were doing the commentary. But then there was a time when Eurosport either lost the license or something like that. So for the next season, Eurosport weren't going to be broadcasting Formula One. Now for me, I have to have my F1 fix. I don't care how I do it, but I have to have it. Preferably live, because it's the only way to watch the race, and the qualifying is live. So it turned out, and I used to video record this, don't forget, right? So I used to have a video recorder, put a tape in. I used to buy packs of blank tapes, and I just put a tape in and get ready for the next event. But because Eurosport weren't doing it, I had to go to RTL, which is a Spanish, was it? Yeah, which was a Spanish channel. Which had the coverage of the Formula One, right? So the problem with that is everything. Oh no, sorry, it's German. What am I talking about? Spanish? It's German, right? So I started picking up all these German words, you know, for Formula One. I picked up a couple of things, but yeah, I was able to get on my satellite package. I had RTL, which was a German-based thing. But everything's in German. Now, I don't speak a lot of German, very little. I can count to maybe single digits, and that's it. I was born in West Germany when it was West Germany, but I don't speak it. So that was no good to me. I still wanted to watch it, even though if it was in a foreign language. Didn't matter. I can look with my eyes and see what's going on, and I don't need to be told. I can see exactly what's happening. But it turned out that BBC Radio 5 had the audio broadcast. You with me? You getting to where this is going? So I had the audio broadcast, and that was live, and it was in perfect sync with the TV. So I just got a set of RCA audio cables, and I just plugged them into my hi-fi. We used to have hi-fis back in the day. I plugged them into my little Pioneer hi-fi and plugged it in, and then plugged those cables into the back of the video recorder. So now I'm recording the audio. Oh, is it Luxembourg? Well, this was German. This was from a German broadcast. So now I'm recording the audio from BBC Radio 5 Live and the video from RTL. And then when you play the race back on the tape, of course, it's English commentary with the thing, and it was perfect. It was just like watching it in English again. Only the commentator, I can't remember who the commentators were though on 5 Live. I don't remember who they were. If somebody tells me, I'll probably remember. Should we go here? Just land there. Yeah, so that's how I used to do it. And that is how much dedicated I was to watching this stuff. What was the question? How much more skill is needed to be a NASCAR driver than it is to be a Formula One driver? Well, I'm not really so much into NASCAR, but I've watched NASCAR, but the pinnacle of motorsport is Formula One, right? It's probably easier for a Formula One driver to drive a NASCAR hard, drive it hard and well, than it is for a NASCAR driver to drive a Formula One hard and well. Let's put it that way. I think there's more skill in driving F1 than just driving a stock car around in circles. I know not all the tracks are in circles, but you know, there's different techniques as well, because some of the NASCARs, they go 3 wide into corners. That doesn't happen a lot of time on F1. But if you want to talk about motor racing skill, I think Formula One drivers are in second place. When it comes to motor racing skill, I'm going to have to side with rally drivers. Especially when those madmen were driving Group B rally. Can I do this in time? Oh, cool. That's the planet we just left. I have a total respect for rally drivers. Those guys are just crazy gifted. And the speed they go at on loose surfaces is just, yeah. But yeah, I think Formula One drivers are, you know, they're fitter than footballers, F1 drivers. Yeah, he did, Steve, that's right. Mansell won in F1, went to IndyCar, won the title straight away. Now try getting an IndyCar driver to come to F1 and win the title in the first year. Giving them a competitive car as well to be able to do it. I'm not going to put money on that. This isn't such a nice looking place. This is one of the most boring planets I've ever seen. Am I in Horizons? Am I in Horizons without realizing it, guys? What's happening? They are moving forward on the PC with the post-Odyssey code based only. Yeah, they'll be pressing on with the Odyssey stuff now. But I think from time to time there will be changes that need to be made to the Horizons code as well. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, the TT is quite impressive, isn't it? Those guys are crazy. Got to give the Isle of Man TT guys props. One mistake, one on the TT, and it could be just lights out for good. I don't even want to land here, guys. It's just, this is so, what a boring place. Did I actually map it? Can't even. But we'll get out and get the footfall anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch all forms of motorsport. I mean, I have watched and enjoyed the British touring car back in the day. That was excellent. IndyCar I used to watch. Haven't watched it for years and years and years, but I used to watch it way back in the day. That was good. In the times of, I mean, let me name you some of the drivers and then maybe you'll get an idea of how long ago. So Greg Moore, the guy who got horribly killed. Gilles de Ferran, Jacques Villeneuve came to F1. Is it Bobby Unser? Yeah, Alonso Jr., that era. I think we're talking mid-90s. I was watching IndyCar, I enjoyed it. British touring car was just so exciting to watch. But for me, in terms of like motorsports in general, Formula One is my religion. Oh, look at these. What's going on? Oh, okay. Frame rates are like 50, but it looks like it's really crap. Yeah, Formula One's my religion, so I am touring cars around Alton. We can do that right now. We can do that right now, but I won't be doing it on this stream because it's a thing. Do some historic cars around Alton Park. Yeah, Jacques Villeneuve was Jacques Villeneuve won the title in Formula One in 1997. He replaced Damon Hill. Yeah, the frame rates look really bad, don't they? It's weird because we've got 60 frames here. Look at my arcs. I'm going to log out and back in, guys, see if I can hit the 10,000. Yeah. And of course, I used to watch the MotoGP in the days. Actually, I started watching MotoGP when, what's his face? Who's the Australian dude? Mick Doohan. Mick Doohan was driving or riding. I watched it in his day, and then, of course, the famous Valentino Rossi. So yeah, I did that, but I've not watched those for quite a while. Formula One is still the only one that I watch. Like, put it this way, there's no point asking me, "Hey, Rusty, did you see this race?" Because the answer is always going to be yes, I did. Unless, of course, I have to specifically miss it for a reason, but I hate not catching it live. But 95, 96, 97.3% of the time, 9998, that's killer. I do watch it live. Yeah. Oh. So, guys, it's 8:30 in the PM here. I don't know whether I fancy to do something or not. I know we've been yapping for 3.5 hours on Elite Dangerous, but I fancy sticking my wheel and pedals on the desk and just having a go. You've got a 31-year-old Ducati? How cool. Do you know what it was with Schumacher? I was never. There was a phase I went through when I disliked Michael Schumacher, and that was when he was. That's when he was racing against Damon Hill in '94. Well, actually, a little bit before that as well, but mainly '94. And then, of course, Senna crashed, trying to outrun Michael Schumacher, because Schumacher had beaten Senna in the first 3 races, and Senna wanted to lay down a marker and, push away, and then he had the crash. So, oh, my stomach's churning here. So, yeah, and then he was battling against we all know what happened at the end of 1994, where there was a collision between the two, and Michael won the title because of the collision. Blah 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 blah. And Michael's done some not too sporting things in his time. So I wasn't a Schumacher fan, didn't like him. Respected him as a driver because the guy was talented. The guy was, you could see it. He was brilliant. But I did not like him. I was a Damon Hill fan. I said, come on, Damon. But Schumacher was hard to beat. But Damon did win in 96. He had a good car. He won in 96. Now, roll on to 1998. Schumacher's in a Ferrari. And we've got the first race. Okay. I can't remember what it was. Let me just roll it up. Okay, so let me just get the rundown, the calendar, and I'll tell you why I stopped hating Michael Schumacher. Okay, yeah, Australia. Of course, it's the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne. Yeah, so the first race, Australian Grand Prix. Right, we've got McLaren, who had the silver and black West cars, and they kind of were expected to perform, let's just say, pretty well. And they did. We had Mika Häkkinen, who's a bloody fast driver, good guy. David Coulthard, who didn't mind playing second fiddle to Häkkinen. And those guys just romped off into the lead. Uncatchable. They lapped everybody. And they won. Come the second race, Brazilian Grand Prix. Again, McLaren just dominating. They almost lapped everybody. They lapped the majority of the field, I think. And then they won. Then it was like, oh, well, this is going to be a boring season. And then we got race 3, Argentina. And it was almost like Schumacher had said, I've had enough of this. I'm going to take it to them. And he's in this Ferrari, which wasn't the most competitive Ferrari in the world. And they got off the line. The McLarens. No, I did. We're not arguing though, Adasta. But yeah, so the McLarens got off the line. Schumacher followed, stayed on them, managed to stay with them. Only he could do it. Everybody else was just far behind. And it was then you could just see that, only somebody like Schumacher would be able to hang on to these two McLarens. And I think there was a point where, I don't know if it was before or after he overtook the first one, Coulthard. And Schumacher went off. I think it might have been before. But he knew there was a runoff road around. Instead of going in the gravel, he knew there was a runoff road because he's walked around the track already. So he took that runoff road, joined. He overtook David Coulthard, the first McLaren. Now he's chasing down the leader, Mika Häkkinen. And he got him. He passed him. And he went on and he dominated and he won that race. Right? This was after the McLarens had completely dominated the first two races. Untouchable. And then you have this Schumacher guy coming along on race 3 and saying, I've had enough of that. I'm going to show you what I'm made of. And he beat both of them. And nobody else got even close. And I just changed my opinion of him immediately. I just said, you know what? This guy's incredible. I just have to. I can't dislike him anymore. He's just too damn bloody good. And he was. So that was kind of how I went from, I didn't like Michael Schumacher at the first two races, and then race 3 it was like, yeah, no, he's ridiculously too good. Yeah. So there you go, a pointless story on an Elite Dangerous stream. Yeah, brake steering. Yeah, they did. They had brake steer, and um, yeah, yeah. We've done 3 hours of Elite Dangerous, three and a bit. I think we've covered everything. If I've missed anything out, let me know. Yeah. And after that, I don't know. I changed. I wanted Schumacher to win because Hill couldn't do it because Hill was in a slow car. Uh, he couldn't do it, and I supported Schumacher ever since after that. I mean, how could I not? He was it's ridiculous. I was just in awe of the way he did that. Yeah. You missed it. What did you miss? I wouldn't trust another game FDev was involved with. The thing is, the next one is Formula One. It's the manager, Formula One manager. So that's up my alley. So I have to be there. I have to, yeah, I have to take a look at that. I can't ignore that title. I've got, Motorsport Manager software, but it's not very good. I think it's just called Motorsport Manager. I've got that one. It's nothing. It's okay, but it's not for me. So I'm going to be very interested to see what Frontier come out with. Um, it's a shame you won't be able to drive the cars, but we can't because Electronic Arts have got the license for that. So when they bring out F1 2022, which I guess will be midway through the year. Yeah, no, Coulthard never became the champion, did he? Thing is, he couldn't match Hakkinen. Hakkinen was just too bloody quick. Yeah, he was such a nice guy as well, though. You couldn't hate Hakkinen. He was such a nice guy, but he was so quick. He's like Hamilton. He just got this natural speed that it's just part of you. Schumacher has it, It's just that natural pace. But I think pace wise, like, I don't know, if the cars were equal, I wouldn't be surprised if Hamilton and Hakkinen both were able to be quicker than Schumacher. I think in terms of outright speed, I think Hamilton has it. I think Senna had it, and I think Hakkinen had it. Schumacher was fast, but he was fast over the lap. It wasn't just like, well, that doesn't make sense, does it? But I mean, he was like the complete package. He could just drag a time out of the car from nowhere. He was very good at that. Yeah, Hakkinen was driving in Monza. He was winning comfortably, and then he made a mistake, spun the car out, and then he just went into the bushes and cried, which is good. It's an honest emotion. Just shows how much it means to people. I don't think there's any shame in that. Remember when Schumacher cried his eyes out? When he just got his, what was it, 41 wins, his 41st win? And then they said to Michael, hey, you've just got your 41st race win. And now you're tied equal best with Ayrton Senna. Does that mean anything to you? And then Senna had just passed away a few years ago, and then Schumacher just lost it and just burst out crying. And Schumacher finished his career with 91 race wins, and now Lewis has 103 race wins. The single most successful F1 driver of all time, Lewis. Yeah, footballers do it. Footballers. I've seen the footage, man, where somebody goes up to tackle them, they don't even get touched. and then the guy falls down clutching his face. And he's like, you can see it on the slow motion. You never even got touched. I don't follow football. I know there's a round thing that they kick into a net, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, Senna and Prost. That was a big battle, wasn't it? Ooh. Hurt Fixer just subscribed. Thank you, Hurt Fixer. Let me have a look at my subs, guys, and see where we are. I was at 6,510 when we started. I think I was. Yeah. See where I'm at now. It's been pretty good. So 6,510, 6,510. And now it's, Jesus crumbs, 6,547. 37 subs on this stream. Bloody hell. I'll take that. Thank you, everybody. Hurt Fixer. Frontier said everything is too hard and nobody wants boring ship interiors. Well, I don't think that's an exact quote, right? But yeah. They, paraphrasing, yeah, I think they did say about the ship interiors that there's not enough people that wants it, right? I knew this smelly mess of a game had its days over. I don't think its days are over. If you're a console player, I can understand that point of view, definitely. Devs has kept to their word about one thing. Everything is too hard. Yeah, don't really know what the reason is for the fleet carrier announcement. Whether it's, no talent, it's too technical, or there's some corporate conditions tied to it that they can't meet. I'm sure Microsoft and Sony play to some conditions, even if it means the difference between having a game out there and not having one. But it must be something. Because look, you've got Flight Sim on the consoles, right? And I will bet you a pound to a penny that Microsoft Flight Simulator is a more complex piece of code. And like when the game is being played, it's more complex than Odyssey should be. So yeah, it's we'll see. So it's like if you can get Flight Sim to be accepted on a console, I mean, obviously Xbox is going to be a piece of cake because it's them doing it. You think Russell will give Hamilton a challenge? I think he'll push him. But ultimately, in the first season, I think Hamilton's going to have the measure of Russell. Hamilton, I don't know, I think he will. I know if we weren't going on to these new cars, I think Hamilton would he'd handle it no problem. But you don't know with these new cars. But at the end of the day, Russell's going to do what he's told. He knows how good Hamilton is, and he's not going to go in there expecting to just beat him. Because that would be a foolish way to think. That I'm just going to go in and beat Hamilton to the title. Okay, well, good luck with that. But yeah, I hope he does well. I like George Russell. I think he's a good guy, and I want to see him succeed. And he's going to be the guy who will. I think he will be the leader of Mercedes-Benz when Hamilton retires. Might be in a couple of years. So yeah, Hurt Fixer. They're discontinuing work on Elite to work on their sucky dyno game. Not true. No, they're not discontinuing work on Elite. They're just not doing the console thing. And the people who work on Elite don't work on the sucky dyno game, and the people who work on the sucky dyno game don't work on Elite. They've got separate buildings for all that stuff. So, yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Are they still even working on that thing? Well, if that's true flexible, I have to see it. Yamix didn't swear once. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Maybe he's realizing that cooling down a little bit is better. Yeah, I'll watch his video. I mean, you say his perspective on the future is a little doom and gloom, but if that's to be expected considering what we've just had, the announcement. But at the same time, though, it does kind of put a little silver lining on the PC version, because now they're going to focus on it. Hello, Andy. Yes, I think I'm up as well. How many people we still got on board my Anaconda? I think it's dropped off considerably. Yeah, 52. It's going to be time to call it here, guys. Okay, I can't believe that this stream is another bloody 4 hours. I can't help myself, can't I? Can I? Yeah, I'll go and watch Yamik's video. I'm going to go make myself something to eat and a drink, and I'll go and put it on, and then I don't know, maybe I'll do something tomorrow. Alright then, guys, so yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the subs. Wow, can't believe it. 37 subs today. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I don't think they all beeped up on the stream. A lot of them did, but I don't think they all did. So to everybody who subscribed today, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. I hope I can keep you guys here and keep you guys subscribed. But whatever, if we're not back before, we'll definitely be back on Sunday, I believe. I think so. That's the schedule. We'll be back on Sunday with Elite Dangerous Odyssey, carrying on our journey off this planet and further east. So guys, thanks very much. If you have any more commentary about the carriers and the decision, and you want to, you want to put your thoughts out there, feel free to do so in the chat under the stream, or go onto my Discord, links in the description, and just chat about it on there. You know, we have an Odyssey channel, and just, yeah, we chat in there. So cool. Yeah, it was 6.51 at the beginning of the stream, Frank. It was 6,510. Now it's 6,547. That's pretty damn impressive. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and at least until Sunday. Maybe I stream something tomorrow, but it might not be something you want to see. I don't know. We'll see, depending on how I feel. But it'll be after the Formula One, so it'll be sometime after 4 p.m. or any time after there, maybe. But if not, it'll definitely be Sunday, where we're going to be streaming Elite again. Okay? Well, sorry to be the bringer of bad news, but it was Frontier that brought it, not me. So until then, yeah, it is what it is. Bye-bye.